are we on? Because I do not remember.
We are on episode 36, Heart of the Forge.
Awesome.
Nice.
Also, two of you have got your previous names from your culty days.
Yeah, I've not got around
Yeah,
to
who is
changing
this
that
Screep?
yet.
Screeg.
Skreeg.
You,
Oh, Screep.
He's friendly. He's friendly.
Yeah,
I believe you.
Good boy.
and
Don't talk
Healy.
like that. No. You're reminding me too much of my character I played at Yokai.
The entire session.
Oh no, I'm fucking you, not Screeg.
and
Near your
are-
steel tea leaf.
Teely.
Yes.
That's a good name. I was trying to figure out what that said.
and are we actually going to be short
Kobold
of Gwen?
rogue thief.
Oh, you mean
So,
on
tea leaf.
actual thing? Yes, I'm still Screeg on there, aren't I?
Was Hot Stuff your one last time? Point. You need a new name, don't you?
I know, yeah, I'm just trying to think of one.
Yeah, are we missing, is Gwen
Yeah.
not playing
We are
today?
missing a James and a TR.
James is here.
James is
James
here.
is
James
muted.
is here? Ah.
Da-da-dan!
James has been here for a while.
Ah.
Muted.
Yes.
Yeah, I
So
think it's
we,
just a
yeah.
TR and a Crow that we're missing.
Crow did
Yeah.
say that they won't.
Crow
be-
said
yeah,
they wouldn't
They're
be,
not going to be as this. There's more. So are we? Did TR say they weren't going to be here?
I don't remember him saying.
No.
Actually.
Don't think so.
Something might have like immediately come up when they're not had a chance.
Yeah,
to-
fair enough. If they do show up, they can join. Otherwise,
Was it TR who was running late because of work?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
that's
Oh,
right.
Okay.
He did say that the other day.
yeah, they did. Now I remember. Gwen is going to be cowering.
Inspiration
and
for
will heal you
Alex
from
for
distance.
remembering that.
Mhm. Oh, just
That's fair.
start screen.
Gwen
There you
still
go,
hasn't.
I like it.
Gwen
Get
still
free
hasn't.
inspiration for remembering things that the rest of us
Yeah.
couldn't.
Pumping Iron Core is a good one. I like that.
All right, are we ready to play? Gwen can join in when they get here.
Believe
think so?
I believe so.
Alrighty then. Welcome back to the world of Alterra, the Shattered Altsphere, episode 36, Heart of the Forge. Previously, our party infiltrated and descended through the garbage chute of Iron Core, only to find themselves in a cavern filled with molten lava. And quick to their discovery, a creature lurking within its depths. The party successfully warded off the molten lava worm, only to crash through the weakened, I want to say, western wall
Yeah.
into what appears to be the lowest level of the forge, at least per their schematic, the forge layer itself.
Hell yeah, which is where we wanted to be.
To a certain extent.
Similar
By the way,
to...
Chris, just sort of think your mic is peaking hard right now.
Peaking hard.
It's very loud. I've had to turn you down quite a bit. This is very...
Interesting.
I'm not sure why. And maybe because last time you were like a little quiet and I might have bumped it. But on my end, it was hard red every time you were talking on my audio.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
All right, adjust. Everyone adjust your volumes as
Yeah.
necessary.
Adjusted.
This is... To be fair,
I
this
mean,
is gonna...
I
that's
tend
gonna
to
be
have you a
loud.
bit louder than everyone else, anyways. Just
Makes
so you
sense,
know.
makes sense. All right, Assassin is going to be sleeping in their bag for today's session, and Gwen is going to be cowering at the back, potentially healing any of you if you're about to immediately die. Otherwise, we'll be making, quivering noises.
Is Gwent still on Alvina's back?
With the bag.
I like that. Let's go ahead and throw you guys on the level 5 map. We'll get to...
Oh, that was entertaining. I just saw. I can.
Yeah, I
sometimes
saw all the
scrolling
tags as
around,
well.
I can see all the tags. There's a lot of people here.
I know what you mean.
That's an interesting bug. Okay.
I have devil sight. I
Oh,
can see
I
all
just-
this shit.
So I just want to say, if anyone's looking at my stream right now, you can see a very interesting name at the top of the stream. At the top of it.
Top of it.
Well, I've put to a certain extent so I can see it, and it just says at the top of my screen, "Lava Shark."
Gotta get
I-
some lava sharks in there.
Lava shark.
I
It was
saw
just
another
like-
monster name, but I won't spoil what it was I
That's
saw.
why that one I'm fine with. I've seen a lot of other ones, but that's the one I went. I like that one a lot.
To be fair, there's no spoilers that you won't immediately get if you actually look out into the main chamber.
Yeah.
To answer Neil's question, there are walls in between. It's not just darkness. Oh. Anyway, you're in a building. Right, before I get to starting you guys off, let's do a quick name or voice check. Wolfie, say hi.
Howdy! I'm Wolfie Bane.
Zormir, say hi.
Hi.
Drink
I'm
some
Zormir.
coffee while I wait as well. Fuku, say hi.
Hi.
Lou Grim, say hi.
Hi.
The Point, aka Pumpin' Iron Core.
Good
Hello,
I
mate.
like that.
night, mate.
And Fade, who I assume isn't in roll 20 yet, say hi.
Nope.
Hi, I am not.
There you go. So, as the party crashes through and crawls their way out of the what you're now quickly coming to realize, or may have already realized, is the garbage disposal area, you find yourself in a large, now partly destroyed room filled with or partly now filled with vases and scrolls, half of which have been destroyed and burnt to ash as you've entered. And
How did it happen?
No idea.
no idea who knew who did that.
I blame the
And
world.
descending after you with their innate flying ability, therefore having no problem actually just following you after hearing a massive crash, Fade will arrive in a couple seconds.
Nice.
And I believe the point is looting scrolls, right?
I am looting as many scrolls as I can while the rest of the party decide what to do.
I will give the rest of the party a couple seconds by themselves before Fade arrives, and then Fade can come into the scene halfway through, just to mimic the time it would have taken you to hear the crash and go and investigate, assuming your party was dead.
Well, that worked.
Well,
What
yes.
What was that? I have no idea what I was. Never seen
It
one
was a
before.
worm.
Well, yeah, I get it's a worm. Looked like it was made out of fire.
We've seen weirder. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Well,
I suppose.
You're in Molten Rock.
It was hungry, at least.
I can empathize.
Point, what are the scrolls?
I don't know. I do not speak giant.
Oh, they're all in giant. Okay.
Are they?
I have no idea. I'm
I
just
never
assuming.
checked. I pick up
Yeah,
a
if
scroll
anything,
and I
Alex,
try to
you
read it.
you gotta unroll that scroll. You gotta ask the DM what you see on that scroll.
Exactly.
Whole host of information you're missing.
It's like, I assume they're in giant, but just open one up.
I will unroll one of them being asked.
As you unroll it, it's not so much written as it is sketched out. It looks to be, and as an artificer, you actually are very familiar with the general thematics of this scroll. It looks to be a schematic.
Ooh.
Now, it's not, you don't recognize it as well as you would like an artificer or a magic item schematic, but you have seen a couple of the smith schematics that maybe Zormir keeps around, given that they do have proficiency in smithery.
What does it vaguely
say-
look like from the picture?
Schematics, and we'll just double down on grabbing as many as possible.
Yeah. What does it look like from the picture? From Alvina's completely untrained eye.
From the one that the point has unraveled, it looks to be a specialized and stylized form of fencing. Effectively, it looks like almost
Rapier.
iron wrought gate pillars.
Oh,
do you
that
call
kind of
bars?
fencing. Okay,
Bars,
that kind of
there we go.
fencing, understood.
Yeah. It's a iron. It looks to be similar to an iron wrought bar, only it looks to be somewhat more glossy, and the actual paragraphs that are dotted around the schematics, clearly pointing to different things, would be written. I guess technically they would be written in Giant, but does anyone actually read Giant?
Fade knows
If you
giant.
read
know Giant.
Dwarven, I believe the dwarves did copy theirs, and I'm fine with keeping that for this world.
Can I
Oh,
get a
Alex
reminder
should be
where
fine.
were these scrolls from? Because I can't actually
I
remember.
believe the script's the same, yeah.
Where did we get these scrolls from again?
In this room.
There are a dozen scrolls per vase dotting this room. This looks to be some sort of archive storage room that you've entered, only you've now destroyed half of it by crashing in.
Right.
So they're also incredibly. It's almost like you're unraveling like a master poster banner because they are giant sized.
Yeah.
So like the point is having to like hold one edge and kind of pass it to someone as you unroll it halfway across the room.
I'm
I'll be
gonna,
holding.
I'm gonna take a look at one of them as well.
Do you speak giant or dwarven?
Nope. But I want to see if
But
I
if
can.
it has pictures,
I
it's
can-
okay.
Go ahead and give me an intelligence check with proficiency, as you do have proficiency in Smith's tools.
Chris, are they labelled?
They're labeled in giant.
We have. Do they look like the Iron Core documents that we have already?
The Iron Core document that you had already would be on these slate panels, so most like stone or like flexible stone tablets. These ones are actually done in what appears to be some form of paper.
Okay, I was just wondering if we could get some more of the set. But never mind.
That's
Just
3.
realised
You gotta
quite-
send away for it.
That's 4, isn't it? We've got a 4
Mm.
It's a monthly thing.
Zormir, as you're looking at this, actually, this is fascinating to you. There's techniques here, and the way the giants outlay their schematics, it isn't as intuitive as a common race might do that you're familiar with, and it's definitely different to how you've ever seen more standardized schematics to look like back in the main sphere. So it's a little hard to follow, but also they seem to be referencing, and there's little drawings of differing like ingot types and crystal types that you've never seen. And you're not entirely sure if this is because of how the giants represent those in pictorial form, or if they are entirely new substances that just weren't present in the main sphere for you to be aware of. Definitely a good source of Smith knowledge, if you're able to ever decipher them.
I would like to take some of these with me.
I think the point's way ahead of you.
Yep, just grabbing.
Assuming that you are willing to put them in your bag of holding, you can easily capture them. Just do note they will be in your bag of holding should your bag of holding ever be destroyed or taken away from you.
I don't have a bag of holding. I'm looking around to see where the little, where our little squid person is, or at least our goblin, whichever is closer.
Assassin will be snoring away in their little water tank.
Yeah, so it'd be the Goblin Man.
Maybe the goblin.
You can't just pry open Assassin's mouth and just.
No.
I mean, we can, but it's very impolite.
I mean,
So-
fuck you is also probably gonna bite you if you pry open his mouth as well.
Yeah. Why would we try open fuck you's mouth?
Did fuck you also eat the bag of holding?
He's also eating the bag of... Not yet. Give him
As the
some.
party keeps an ear out for any arrivals of any creatures on the outside, to your relief, it seems like the sheer noise echoing and reverberating through the entire complex has actually worked in your favor, meaning that the massive crashing of a wall being destroyed has actually gone unnoticed, with the exception of one very curious fellow who flies down to meet you as Fade re-enters and rejoins the party.
Oh, hey, Fade.
Can you shut these in your bag?
Fade apparently stares at you, unmuted and not talking.
No, I'm not playing it either.
Yes, they do that. They're just taking the scene.
Half-burned library, us looting the remains of it amongst, like, burning rock.
Whilst in the room behind us, there's a giant dead fireworm.
It's
No, it's
not
not
dead.
dead, it buggered off.
Oh yeah, buggered off in there.
Yep, you bloodied
Scared
it,
it away.
and the combat encounter was once you bloody it, it retreats.
The worm decided we weren't worth the effort.
No, I think you bloody it in like 3 rounds.
I think it was more than that, because, to be fair...
Well, it's fucking
Hey,
To be
flying
fair,
around as an
everything about the environment of that train went in the worm's favor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Right.
Fuck you. Come here.
What?
I need to
Hold
use your
this.
bag of holding.
Hold this.
There's some
Okay.
useful schematics here, or at least something. Wait, come here. Can you read this? I'm holding up some of the stuff I've seen.
I look at it upside down. Yes. I don't know why. I can. It makes sense.
Cool.
The only arm starts twitching.
Cool. Then we have a way to read it.
Fuck
So
it,
let's
Oh,
wait.
yeah. That's very important. That bit there.
Yep.
The
Let's
page-
save it till later when we're not trapped in a room that we just broke a hole in and is currently on
Yep.
fire.
Yes, I know. I'm just making sure that we have a way to decipher these scrolls. They look very interesting, and I would like to know some of this knowledge. Some of those crystals don't look familiar.
I mean, that's
Hey,
a
can you
late
can you
thing.
go ahead and give me an intelligence check? Just a flat intelligence check.
Page is unresponsive. I
That
will.
is fair. We'll get to it
You're
later.
not in
But,
roll 20.
as you are looking at it, while you recognize the individual words and the typography itself, it looks like it's written in some form of not particularly complex, from what you can see, form of code. It looks like they have encrypted their schematics so that only someone familiar with the terminology and the specific word choices that they use can actually decipher it.
It's actually not. It's just someone in programming thinking they're writing normally, isn't it?
Yeah, they'll have their own very specific dialect effectively
Yeah,
when
okay.
writing their stuff.
Yeah. Cool. I'm gonna take a peek out the window or door or whatever this is. That is the.
It's a large sheet of what looks to be almost a silver infused black metal.
Ooh.
You're not able to recognize it at a glance. It does look a little reminiscent of like a steel or somewhere between a steel and an iron. If it was a black iron raw kind of metal.
Gotcha. Okay. I will note down that might be what I'm looking for. Actually, does it feel cool to the touch?
Yes,
Cool.
it is below body temperature.
Cool.
Not
I will.
freezing.
Yeah.
As if it was just like in the shadow all day or in the shade all day.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna assume that is roughly appropriate for what I'm looking for. So I will not steal this door. Don't worry, guys. But before anyone thinks I was about to. But it just means I have to keep an eye out for this kind of metal. For the Infinity Gauntlet, I'm gonna get Zombie to make me. But I pull up.
Glass.
But I lift the shutter up slightly and take just a look outside.
The door does not have a seam. It appears to be a solid panel.
Oh, okay. So it's not like
It is distinct from the rest of the stone walls around you, or like dark stone walls. So clearly it is some form of entrance or exit. It is clearly some sort of doorway, but it's almost like purely sealed into the walls around. Most likely it's some form of slightly more technical wall that must like slide into the wall, or maybe it disintegrates or something. You're not entirely sure just from looking at it.
Okay. Zombie.
What? I'm
Door.
putting. Okay, what about the doors?
It's weird.
Stuff some of these scrolls in your bag. Damn it.
Do you
Please.
really want them to be in my bag of all people?
No.
Exactly.
I look back at the goblin and then move forward to see what you're on about.
Fine.
Thank you.
Take note of them because I won't. I'll forget.
I won't.
I refuse to.
How many scrolls are you going to stuff in your bag? I will.
I mean, you can put as many as you like in there. They don't really weigh much.
Collective note: shit ton of scrolls.
Yeah, just a shit ton of,
Yeah,
giant schematics.
I'll make a roll later at some point when you have
Yeah.
time to decipher them after the mission. It could be a downtime thing.
I mean,
Yeah,
Fucky's still got a shit ton of fireworks in his bag.
Yeah. For putting the very important, delicate scrolls in the bag full of grenades.
Could I quickly cast? Oh no, I don't have
What?
spells anymore, do I? Oh, I do. Sorry.
No, you
You're,
had
you're a half caster now, aren't you?
you had the benefits of a long rest, and you have yet to use any since you weren't here last session.
Cool. Can I very quickly cast Detect Magic and look around for magic spell scrolls specifically?
Not bad shout.
And I will.
Yes, I'm just trying to think if there would be any in here.
In the scroll room, or any
Can
that
you
are.
look at the door as well, which would be helpful.
Oh yeah, just the door ping is magical actually as well. That'd be another use for it.
Where does pink?
because of the way the magic system in this world works, I'm gonna say there's a faint imminence of energy coming from the door, but it is not registering as arcane energy or of magic that you're familiar with.
Okay.
It's also not technically magic; it just works in a
primordial.
it's a primordial energy thing. So it gives off a little bit of energy, but it's not magic that as you would know it, and that would be registered or detailed by the detect magic spell. As you look around the scrolls, you are confident that there are no arcane magics or there are no magic scrolls in this room. This looks to just be a storage archive of mundane schematic. The only magic here is the knowledge you learn.
The only knowledge here is the friends you made along the way.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
So was
So
I,
in
yeah.
the schematic version, you literally
Everybody
make them.
was.
What do you need me to
Where-
do with the door?
Open it.
Where's the black door? Is it on the left hand side or what?
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
it is the thin silvery wall effectively there.
And can you upscale fade? Because they're
I
the
can't
model.
tell who is here because of name
Yeah,
tags.
there's all the name tags. You can't really see anything in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, that's
we're
fine. Just assume you're all in a giant room, and that's it.
Yeah.
So we're clustered.
What more do you need?
Can I put my only hand on the black door and say in giant open?
You can.
Open sesame.
Nothing happens.
Oh. Is there even a flickering when I touch it through my detect magic?
There is not. You detect energy coming off it, but nothing that registers as magic.
I'm just gonna go and push the door. Does it open?
It does not. It is
Okay, I was-
unyielding to your strength.
It's a pull.
Hey, my people, I tried to find something to grasp and pull the door.
There are no door handles.
Just before we try a bunch of things, let's actually just try opening it. I realised that we hadn't yet.
If there's no
hands
door
on and
handles,
lean to one
it's
side.
a pocket door. Slide it from side to side.
Oh, I tried to slide it up originally. I thought it was like a garage door originally, and it didn't work.
Try that way.
Can I fly up to around the sort of edges and just examine the edges and try and just tap on the wall, investigating to see if there's any sort of hollow point or a different kind of sound that would indicate a pipe or a wire or something that would lead me off to find a push panel in the wall or some sort of hidden device that will open this door, please.
You do. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. Zormir, what would you like to do?
Well, I could try this spell.
Open door.
Spell.
Knock.
More or less, yeah. I was like,
Hang on, I think I actually might have knock.
do we have not? It might not be
Don't you
locked.
just have on-off before?
Valid
Zormir,
point, you just turn the door off.
as you cast your spell, you feel no presence of any electronic device within the walls or any immediate vicinity.
No.
It appears that this is not technological of a what would be known as like psionic technology in this world, because the Republic just uses modern tech effectively.
Yeah.
Chris, you know you've done it again, don't you?
Then what?
You put us with a door.
Yeah. You put us in a
You
room
done
with a
the
door.
classic
Look,
D&D
this counts as your puzzle problem solving segment of the session. Best of luck. See if you can do it.
Pull down the door. Screw
You're
it.
in a
Pull it
room of
down.
interesting books. There is a door.
I
Escape.
can't get a grasp on the door. I can't pull it down.
Fade, as you're looking about, there's no hollow chambers in the walls surrounding it, and the door itself appears to be a relatively solid, if there's a slight reverberation as if you were tapping against a slightly heavier steel, so it doesn't seem to be particularly thick. It is almost maybe a hand's width thickness to it. You can hear the vibration on the other side. However, as you're going about it, it appears to have been almost built into the walls itself. There's not like a cavity or anything that you'd expect from a sliding door. It is almost as if they have just built around the actual door itself.
That was going to be my next question. Is there any cracks on the edge of the door?
No, there's.
I tap on the wall next to the door. How solid does that seem?
No.
Yeah. all
As
the way
solid as what I'm going to assume is like
Rock.
4 to 5 foot of rock can be. This is also
Gotcha.
quite compressed rock, as they have built it under pressure infused rock.
It'd be on a volcano as well, so it'd be something very solid.
Yeah,
as
this
they
is
tend to be in a
this is a
volcano.
quite dense volcanic brick.
Does anyone have
3
shaped
to
stone?
4 feet's quite thick.
I've
Good
got
call.
I
castle.
think
Could you all step back for a second?
What are you
Why?
what are you planning?
We are. I.
Yeah,
At
Flea's
least-
just going to move back. I'm not asking questions.
Yeah, I'm just gonna step back on account
yep,
of the
go,
the
go.
possibility that Fade might just explode on the spot.
Yeah, I
I think that's an even better reason to ask them what the hell they're doing.
And reason
I'm gonna splash the door with water, and also cast a firebolt at it, thinking that it's I'm thinking it could be dragon glass, and this might open it in since it's an elemental, and I'm gonna use my detect magic to see if there's any change there.
You know, dragon glass
What?
in Game of Thrones is just obsidian, right?
I'm working on Minecraft logic here. This looks like a Minecraft wall to me.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. The water does nothing, but the presence of a flame suddenly causes the iron to melt out, leaving a aura, effectively, or a opening around the fire,
Right.
before it quickly begins to melt back into itself.
Right. Okay. I get what it is.
I mean, that's a really
Honestly,
crap
I had
fire
it,
door.
I had it called melting iron, but I quite like dragon glass more.
That's
So this is now
copywritten, that.
dragon glass.
Yeah, I've been telling
Damn, is dragon glass like an actual copyright thing?
It is.
It is, yeah.
no. I've been telling you this for 4 years, Chris.
I'm gonna call it
Good at-
iron glass. There you go.
That works. Iron
like
glass
that
is
better.
good. I like
There
that.
we go.
That's good.
Iron glass. That's much better than melting iron.
Melting iron is called iron.
The material appears to react to the presence of an open flame.
I immediately light a torch and hold it next to the door.
Oh, good.
We- A literal living fire creature.
Is
I
there
can't-
also someone who owns a flamethrower?
Yeah.
Yes, but
I
it's
mean-
an easy one of a torch isn't throwing a child at a door or setting off a flamethrower in a small room full of paper.
If that's the case, then can sort of literally just walk through the door.
Can you just walk through the door? Did we not try this? Just sort of open the door.
I think he already did.
You have not tried this, but he does just walk through the door.
Go
As
on.
the door evaporates in his presence, only to re-seal itself once he's gone.
How fast does it reseal?
After a second or two, it's designed so that it only reseals after the presence of the person has gone. So it's not particularly fast or anything. And anyone, if you can easily follow after sawed off as he effectively
So,
opens the doors for you.
what
If that's
we
what
can
your
That's
do
what I was
question
going to
is.
do, basically.
I was going to say have sort of standing in the doorway doing jumping jacks.
Before we do that, let's use a small fire to just open an eye hole to look through.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been saying it for weeks. My right arm is a
Yeah.
fire arm. Can I push that arm through the door?
Is it a fire? I thought it was an Oni. The Oni aren't fire creatures.
I have an Oni arm and a firearm
Yeah.
What's the fire one from?
from being
Gimmick, I
exploded
think.
by an MX bomb.
That's fair. I forgot what the second arm was.
I just thought it was a small arm.
Well, let's assume you threw out the only one for now, because Chris forgot the other one was fire.
Okay.
But that arm also opens doors. Any open flame, anything, any heat creatures, open the door.
Hey, stick your finger in there and then look through it.
I'm
Just stick
going,
your pinky out.
This
I'm gonna ignite my
like-
gauntlet
the
with
start
rune-
of the prank. Stick my finger, create a hole. I'm sure you've said this before. I'm having trouble remembering.
I mean, probably.
I'd buy it.
You do so. Zormir, what were you lighting your hand with?
I'm gonna use my cantrip of Green Flame Blade on my gauntlets.
Cool. It has flame in the name. I have no idea mechanically if it
It does
can.
fire damage.
It's just fire damage.
Yeah, fire.
If you two are watching today's session and have a problem with any of the rulings in today's session, such as Green Blade doesn't technically give off heat or something, I don't know, send us a strongly worded email.
Send
Or send it to Bob.
And
Send
it
it
will
to
be
Bob.
sent,
And we'll
Send it to
retcon
Dragon
that.
Bob at Twitch.
and it will be appropriately filed under I don't care.
It'll be code 13.
Let's say, don't put fire or flame in the name of something and assume I won't just assume it's
Fire.
gonna heat.
Yeah, so
But yes, as you open a
Sacred flame.
with your collective intelligence of, I'm hoping at least above average, you're
Yeah.
able to create an eye hole through the door and able to see through into what looks to be an unoccupied chamber with 2 more doors in it.
Cool, I'll take it.
Another 2 doors? Jeez.
I'm,
Yeah,
gl-
you
I'm
come,
glad we
come into this area.
I'm glad we figured out how to open this door.
What do you expect? You can see the map. The door leads into a chamber. Leave me alone.
We're stealing that chair.
I mean,
I won.
in record time versus a door, it's got to be said.
Yeah.
Wolfie, in what bag are we going to put a chair that size?
I never said bag.
Our bags are all.
Is this gonna?
It's gonna be tied to
The chair-
Alvina's back.
I
We're
know
just gonna
what.
carry it on your
I
shoulders.
know
It's
what
okay.
it is. Yeah, I know. And I know he's planning now. It's just a disguised self with the chair. Just wander around with the chair.
I'm a chair. Don't ask questions.
You know, I have a feeling
Yeah.
that wasn't the initial plan, but now it has become the plan.
Exactly. That wasn't my original plan in any way. I had no plan.
I'll be honest.
He just wanted the chair.
Yeah.
You pull off your staff checks. I am fine with this. That is hilarious.
We've got
You've done-
fuck you disguised as a lamp, Alvin disguised as a chair.
We have that,
I was going to say, fuck you, he's got his lampshade.
We're going to furnish a house now.
Giants just look around. It's like, has there always been
yeah.
an entire furniture collection
There's
there?
literally,
Who
there's
left their
literally an
living room
episode-
here?
There's literally an episode of Jackie Chan Adventures where the entire bit is like just someone moving an object and hiding behind it. It was like, was that always there?
Just see the fire guy and turns to the other one and be like, you know, I heard this horror story that somebody discovered a mimic up on the higher level. I don't know. I didn't touch that chair.
We're just walking them through, and it's like just a herd of mimics.
All right, so the party is able to get out into the central chamber. You can hear the bulk of the reverberating clangs and a large thundering sound, so it almost sounds like a waterfall coming from the northwest direction, so through presumably this most western door, whereas there is more quietness to the southern door, where I forgot there's a door there, so you can't even see the chair for your plan yet. You got to go through the door first.
I'd say we go through the quiet one because we can basically go around and hopefully find the least massively populated part.
That would involve.
Dude,
I look at you especially, being quiet.
I am quiet.
Me who's loud.
It's Zorma is the not quiet one.
Besides, I want to see what they're actually doing in there. I'm going to take a small peek if you
Yeah.
don't mind.
Yeah, I can't hear
You're
anything.
taking a peek through the western door, or
For this door here, where I'm
Alright.
the character's at.
It's
I'm
just
not. I'm
Ooh.
just gonna go put the tip of my finger with green flame.
Tip of your what in there?
Yeah.
now,
Oh,
given that this is so much stealthy as it is you applying the correct amount of flame to get the desired result, I am going to call for a intelligence or wisdom stealth check.
Okay.
On the bright side, you don't have disadvantage for noise here, so you're not at disadvantage.
It
Okay.
is true. This would be a flat roll.
I'll go with wisdom. No, intelligence.
I think you
Yes,
should go
yeah, you are.
intelligence, considering you're an artificer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, well, there's no way your wisdom is
Yeah,
higher than your
geez,
intelligence.
First
Oh, no.
intelligence roll.
Valid. There we
That's
go.
better.
Okay. I'm going to assume this beats any passive perceptions of distracted fire giant. Yeah, it does. Fair enough. Alrighty then. Let's
we
see. Where would
established
your
the-
line of sight?
I think they're the intelligence giants, so they're pretty bright.
I think we
Sure how
established
wise
last
they are.
time that even with my bad stealth check, the invisible, it was like.
Yeah, that was the fire things though. That weren't really Ernie's
Pyrohydras.
Yeah, that's the monster I saw earlier.
That's what I didn't see. I saw all the sharks.
Oh no.
I love pyrohydras. No, this is
No.
a Jamie commenting, not Alvina. She hasn't seen it.
Fire.
Zarmir notes seeing those things and says, "I am never telling Alvina. They're never getting a no."
So,
Avina
as
would never know
your
what's behind the
eyes peer through the small man-made hole in the doorway that you have created, you see out into a massive chamber, the air practically dancing with the heat constantly diverting and diffracting your vision. It's got that very over hot desert kind of just waviness to the air, as well as partially obscuring your vision to the south and northeast of the giant pools here. So this area and this area up here, which you actually can't see, is the bottom and tail end of a massive lava fall crashing down into this large pool of bright red and orange aflamed lava.
It's the bottom of the lava fall that we saw up at the top. Nice.
Yep, it descends all the way from the intake valves all the way down into the forge level.
It's a big freaking fall. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Respect the interior design of having a feature like that.
There's
Yeah, 'cause
also
they're-
massive red crystals strutting out of the southern, and you can just kind of see the tip from your vision of the northwest pools. You can see movement inside the pools, but what also catches your eye is probably the dozens upon dozens of topless or near topless, sweating, glistening fire giants hard at work at their various anvils and forges. A variety of sizes and ages. You can even see what appears to be a couple smaller, almost teenage-sized fire giants helping out with the more younger to middle-aged fire giants, as well as a few more that are starting to show their age that appear to have gained or appear to have access to the larger and the more prominent of the equipment, suggesting some form of hierarchy or status in the room.
And the massive, like, 60-foot one at the back.
Yes, but there's a giant crystal and waterfall and dozens of sweltering giants in the way of that. So we'll come to that in more detail when you get a better look. Similar to the upper level as well, you also see a large stone platform engraved in what appear to be some sort of red glowing glyphs that you didn't previously, I don't think, got a good enough look at. And similar to this, you can kind of see it it's kind of at eye level with you, so you can't really see down onto what the glyphs are. You need to get closer on the top of it or get a vantage point down to it. But you recognize the structure the same as the platform you saw upstairs.
Yeah, I think Alvina thought they were a lift or something like that.
Yeah, so it's sort of teleporter.
So, something along the lines of moving stuff.
You would know, given you've been pretty you're pretty much skirting the southern eastern walls, so you'd have a rough idea of direction. This does appear to be in the same location roughly as the one above, so it would make sense if it's some form of either teleporter or elevator up to the higher floors.
Yeah.
Given that it is
teleported
near identical
from the
position.
first room down to there. Fun.
Do I see any of the tools in their hands and sort of?
For the fire giants, yeah, they have a variety of what look to be what you'd recognize as smith tools, but more importantly, what you're kind of pick out. Actually, go ahead and give me a perception check, given there's also a lazy kind of haze to the atmosphere in the room as well as obviously the ringing, the constant ringing of metal against metal and the roar of the lava fall. As you look out, it's
I'm
with
gonna
the
add. Let's see if I've still got any left.
I think you have at least one flash first.
Well, you've got guidance still if you wanted.
Oh yeah, you can guidance it.
I will flash and guidance it.
don't really want to guarantee success there. Okay.
Because I want to know what the tools are. Because I need to know what.
What's
Yep.
going to kill us?
All right. So
We're gonna get if the giants come at us with a freaking forge hammer, I would love it.
Assuming they're all big hammers,
Yeah,
if I'm honest.
I'm assuming
Yeah.
Everybody's got a
it's-
hammer.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's so Zormir knows what can be used to work this kind of metal.
Smith's
Yeah.
tools, I'm assuming, is what it is, but mega Smith's tools.
plus
Yeah.
3 for the flash and
Like,
what
there
was
might be-
guidance?
D4.
Four.
Yeah.
Your default,
Default.
yes, like,
For guidance.
Oh, no, or 3.
18.
15, so 19. Oh, is it 3 or 4 for the flash?
Flash is his intelligence, so it's 3.
It's the 3. So
That's
for
right.
Flash.
So 18.
18.
18. Okay. I feel like that's high enough to get to see through the haziness of the atmosphere as well, given just how scorching hot it is here.
They're like steam.
For also a reminder of everyone, and for James who wasn't here last time, the atmosphere inside the forge is that of the scorching heat environmental terrain feature, which pretty much means minuses to cold damage, pluses to fire damage, and also if you do any form of exerting activity, you'll end up getting exhaustion.
Okay.
As you can imagine, being in a fire giant foundry.
Okay. Cool.
But more importantly,
Anything more exhausting than like running 30 feet on your turn or dashing 60 feet on a turn?
nothing like that. I'm gonna thing it to just long form combat where you aren't able to rest or cool down in between, and more importantly, just if you try and do anything I believe to be incredibly exerting.
Cool.
Yeah, like
Doing a booty
carrying like half a
chair.
ton
A big
of
chair.
iron.
yeah,
Nice.
huge chair.
Good
Now we'll be
thing
moving that with regular breaks.
Jumping jacks in the
Yeah.
spot.
officers who can create jugs of like
Water.
the water thing,
Oh yeah,
Yep.
didn't someone find an
The
alchemy
alchemy
jug
jug.
last?
the splash thing, the geyser.
I've just got an alchemy jug.
Well, you can create 8 liters of water.
Yeah,
But
I've also
let me
been-
finish off Zormir's discovery
Sorry.
first. Zormir, as you're looking out, the younger or the apprentices themselves, so the younger teen ones, don't appear to be using any equipment. They seem to be watching and helping the more middle-aged or what you'd recognize as kind of a regular fire giant. Well, I'm just going to refer to them as their names since you can see their titles
Yeah.
there. The Forge Smiths, which are the more middle-aged seasoned ones, they appear to be using an assortment of what you. Try to think if you recognize it. I think if a similar substance, what you believe to be obsidian iron smith tools.
Yay.
So they have that glossy obsidian, glassy metallic black look to them. The Forge Masters, so what look to be the upper middle age to the more senior of the fire giants. You can see all of them are currently dressed appropriately for a forge. None of them are wearing obsidian iron or anything. They all seem to be wearing a mix of either just being like topless. You can see their glistening sweat-covered skin and muscles as they work, as well as just thick orange and red hair everywhere. Because fire giants are Scottish, and we all know it.
Kinda.
But more importantly, the Forge Masters are not actually utilizing tools from what you can see. And if they are, they appear to be small sets of sculpting tools whenever they do use them. The main bulk of their processing appears to be using their hands. As in, they are actually molding and manipulating metal, either physically by twisting the metal itself, or by seemingly hovering their hands above it. You can see their hands emanating with red glow. They appear to be using, and to be fair, this skill and craft wasn't unknown in the main sphere, so go ahead and give me a history check here to see if you recognize the art form.
Just here.
I mean, they're the only one that's looking.
Okay. Well, he
Just
could
over.
bring to us and
Zormir, this is what you'd recognize as the legendary craft of the Fire Giant's Forger, or the Fire Giant Smith, able to use primordial magic to replicate effectively a forge and the processing of forging with just their mere presence. They are able to twist and manipulate metal at a distance.
Metal benders.
I wish I could acquire this damn skill.
Hmm?
It would make my artificery so much better.
You good, Zomer? Anything
Sorry.
interesting?
I got lost in the watching the craft.
Ah, so there are people in there then.
Yes, they
How
are.
many?
Too many for us to even remotely think of
Dozens.
going through there.
Lots
Dozens.
then. Okay, lots.
Lots.
Uh,
I can hear
Think-
like can we hear the waterfall or lava fall from where
Yeah.
we're standing? Yeah.
think
It'll be the
that-
bottom of that lava waterfall we saw up at the top, probably.
I think a small section of the town we were in working.
Well, at
Oh.
least we know we're definitely on the forge level, right?
That's fine. We can take
Yeah.
him.
Now we don't have to take him yet.
No,
I mean, we can
But
still
I-
take him.
Oh, of course, but we don't have to take him yet. Let's actually get the stuff we want, because we've got a job to do, remember? We actually just want stuff here.
Oh yeah.
Do you see any primordial fire in that room, by the way, Zomo?
the lava lake drains down into here, but red crystals, them forming stuff with the hands. Oh, I mean, the skillers. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's
Nothing
That's-
primordial fire, then?
possibly within the forges. I don't know. I can't.
Okay.
Without being able to go into the room and examine the forge precisely myself, I can't tell you the difference other than the tools are definitely the ones after that they're using in here, but it looks very hot in there too.
I mean, it's hot everywhere. Also, I'm assuming the crystal isn't primordial fire, whoever's picking that, because the dragon eggs need to be submerged in it, and it's very
Yeah.
hard to submerge something in a rock.
Not a problem.
In a crystal.
But they definitely look like they're using the right tools. None of it looks. I mean, I would expect iron to start to get close to the melting point in here.
Ooh. So it's fireproof iron, you say?
Well, it has to be in a sense, or
Glad
wouldn't-
to hear it.
or they wouldn't be able to forge anything with this. I mean, some.
It's a good call. Well, shall we find a storage cupboard then? And Alvina's like rubbing her hands together.
Yes.
Thank God, I thought you was going to say, let's go in.
No,
yes,
no.
storage cupboard.
Alvina
cupboard,
knows.
Fuck you.
Alvina knows we have a job to do. Maybe come back and do this, but at least until we've got the ship out of there and that part of the job's done, not even going to consider doing this.
Thank God.
If only we. I mean, if we could make an alliance with these fire giants, they could make some really amazing things. But
Let's put a pin in that.
I know, it's not the easiest thing to make friends with.
Maybe we can find an outcast one, and then we can work with from there. Let's not go from the one that literally take people as slaves.
Yes.
Who doesn't take people as slaves in this world?
We don't. We adopt them. It's different.
You lured them in with ramen.
Yeah, kind of did.
Forcefully adopt.
And
But
make deals with them.
they're definitely teaching generations in there as
Oh, so
well.
it's a school, I guess.
Wow.
Teaching
really
is
a
a
school,
strong
it's just like-
word.
It's like an
does-
apprenticeship.
it's
That's why they
more
call it
like-
apprentices.
Oh, Alvina can't see
Take your
what's
kids
in
to
there
work
now.
today.
Take your kids to work then. So we now know not to go through that door,
No?
and any door that looks like it's going into that room, we don't go into.
Or we pay attention to it at least to make sure nothing comes out.
Yes. So let's go
Could
south.
you maybe rig up an alarm on the door?
What, on every door?
No, we don't.
No,
I mean,
not every door. So
Also-
we know if someone's coming out of there.
Also,
And-
the problem with rigging an alarm is that they'll know.
Not
That
if you
someone's
use the
here.
alarm spell.
Sure.
I mean, we don't really need an alarm. We can, you know how these doors function. Essentially, if it starts to melt, hide.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
we're all
see-
hiding under the big chair.
So every time we move from room to room, we'll take a look in, and then once we know it's empty, we'll have someone watch every entrance, and others do what they do best, looting or whatever we can find that'll help.
Cool.
Does it sound like a plan?
It does sound like a plan. I approve.
Surprisingly.
Okay,
Eyes on the
Next.
melting doors. Next.
next door.
Alright,
Alvina,
who is
I'll make a hole for you. We're going to do a quick
entire
check,
party,
but
yeah.
I suppose.
Quick, through the glory hole.
Alvina will stick her head through the hole that is made.
All right, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Okay, stealth checks.
What are you
Zorma,
mumbling
whatever
about,
you do,
James?
do not take the fire away.
Please do not
Alvina's head is in
decapitate me.
there.
Ooh.
Great start for my rolls today, guys.
As Alvina sticks their head through the door and
It's not melted yet.
locks eyes with the 5 teenage fire giants in the room, the air lingers for a solid half a minute as both parties just look at each other, one in bewilderment and the other in whatever the hell Alvina's facial expression looks like.
Big smile across her face.
More or less, it would be. I just nod and pull my head back out.
But right as she does this, can I just in giant growl at them? Get back to work.
You don't see that. I literally shove my head through the opening in a metal door.
Okay.
There's only Alvina's head, and she will nod and pull her head back out and go, "Guys,
What?
they've
Yes?
noticed us.
And then, how did they do that?
Fuck.
No idea.
I don't.
I literally just can I don't know if I can bluff amicability with the 5 giants. If they're so bewildered.
It appears that there is movement happening on the other side. I think they may have noticed you.
I'm just gonna go, well, they've noticed me. I'm just gonna walk in. There's not any of the really big ones. Maybe they'll think I'm supposed to be here. I look weird enough. I've got red hair. It'll work.
The pointer will quickly put a hand on your arm and say, how big are they?
Roughly how tall? I'm assuming like 9-10 feet by the size of the actual models, if they're quite young.
Maybe about 11, 12 since they grow up to
12.
15.
Okay, about 12 feet.
Yeah, like, they're not that much younger. They're definitely late teens. They're probably the fire giant equivalent of like 15, 16-year-olds. They have maybe a little bit of growth left in them, but they're at the age where they can start actually learning the more physical craft.
They're right around the age of being prime fucking bullies before they get shipped off to military school. That's great. Great. You pissed off the
They count as large, don't they?
They do count as large, yes.
Okay, I can't disguise myself as one of them.
No, I'm just going to. Yeah, I'm
Science,
gonna walk back in and just nod.
I will alter self into the form of an Azir though.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good call. That works.
Okay.
So
I'm
we'll
gonna
fuck you then.
stride in.
Fucky's gonna make himself look like a Azir as well.
You two come in with me. We might actually be able to bluff this with the 2 parts. There's a chance. I'm not disguising myself as anything. It ain't gonna work, and it's seen me.
One of my disguised selves. Oh, it's my only disguised self, apparently.
I tried to look more fiery.
Let me see.
Yeah, alter self works. Alter self. I set myself on fire. If the 3 of us managed to actually bluff this would be amazing. I doubt it, but you never know.
Yeah, it sounds like this. I need a random temperament table.
Yeah. I imagine they're just a little tired if they're like, if this is like early apprenticeship time, they'd be a bit tired from working possibly.
Who knows? I'm gonna do a couple random characters. And I'm gonna see what roughly their personas are. Okay, nope.
Please be amicable. Please don't be at least homicidally insane. I'll take it if it's not that.
I think I'd be the leader. Oh wow, okay, fair enough. Hilariously, none of them got bully. One of them's gonna be argumentative, and the other one's gonna be rude. So they gotta be the 2 leaders of the group.
Yeah.
Oh,
We've got the jocks, guys.
damn. 2 of them. Why couldn't we get the nerdy fucking fire giant?
Well,
Sure,
to be fair, you did get a quiet, honest, and I forgot the other one was, but they get to be the 3 followers. So, what are you doing or saying as you enter the room? How are you presenting this? How are you moving in? You got a swagger to you? Are you looking hunched over in any way? Are you looking injured? Are you
Alvina,
saying anything?
I think Alvina would literally stride in, just nod, and look like they just try to look the best, like they belong here.
Yeah.
Not as a
Fuck-
slave, they just belong here for weird reason.
Fuck you'd probably do the same.
Actually, no, because the Azir were like the servants for the fire giants, so you two could look like you like work for me, and I'm important.
Yeah, they'd be down. They'd be lower in the hierarchy, but they wouldn't be as low as the Noid slaves. They would be more the second class, like administration and assistants.
Yeah, like my character doesn't look anything like anything they've seen, probably. So I've got to bank on that to not be completely screwed.
All right. Are you tempted? You're just tempting to look like you belong there. Have that kind of self-imposed confidence.
Yeah.
That there's nothing. There's no hostility or there's nothing wrong here. I don't know what you're talking about.
Pretty much,
Okay.
yeah.
Give me either a persuasion or deception. Or intimidation if you want to try and like stare them down.
Can it
This
be
feels
performance?
more like a performance than anything else.
I'll allow performance.
But
Go for it.
playing in part.
I'm actually trying to act, basically.
Yeah. Let's see. I think it would be a flat
Skill, you're-
performance with the Azir. The Azir gives you a little bit more credibility to actually maybe pull this off.
That's why I was like, I don't think I'm getting advantage, but
Yeah, we'll go flat roll for the sake that you're able to maybe succeed at this.
I'll take the 20.
I'll take a 16. I think Europe as well. Point.
Oh, do I
as
sneak
well.
form? Okay.
Thank God. Everyone give me their performance. Why is Fokyu done perception?
Oh, it's a perception. I'm meant to be.
You click the one below it.
So
It's the
that's
same.
a 32.
Oh,
Yes! Shout out point for
Oh,
the natural
nice.
20.
Natural 20 plus 12.
16 for performance then.
I'm gonna give them an insight check to
Yeah.
actually. Let's see what the fire giant wisdom is. I'll use a DC based on how wise they normally are.
Actually, it's pretty good, right?
They're also gullible teenagers. So
They are
we'll
gullible
give them-
teenagers. The way I think this might actually have a chance is they're gullible teenagers.
One of the the other one was also I forgot what the third one was. The third one was inquisitive.
Oh, the curious one.
Yeah.
This might work.
The average there that you got was of the three of you was a 21.
Nice. Well, luckily for you, while they are suspicious, which would up their DC to 15 plus the 2 from wisdom for 17, they are also teenagers and therefore get a negative, bringing them back down to just 15. So, the DC at 15 you managed to beat with your 21.
Yes!
As one of them steps forward and kind of like they all watch as the three members of the party enter the 2 Azirs and this strange creature who
Yeah.
looks for all intents and purposes like a Noid, if a very not even muscular, because we established that you were like magically strong, right?
No, I am athletic. I'm like a very fit athlete build.
You're
But I'm not
cool.
like overly muscled like an old barbarian. I'm like, imagine someone who basically like does.
Lean and tough.
Yeah. I've just realised what I might be able to back myself off as, guys.
A boxer.
No, fucking dragon.
Oh,
dragon.
yeah.
I'm a dragon.
So the fire giant in front is going to step up and in giant, because they are giants, is going to call out
Oh, what are they saying?
Yeah, correct. What are they saying?
But before the rest of the party hears, can any of the 3 members who actually stepped into the room understand giant?
Nope.
Does knowing Dwarvish help?
Not for the spoken language.
It's for written language. I am going to look slightly quizzically and then just look at one of you.
Fuck you's just gonna shrug.
Like, what did you call me?
The point
As you
was-
are having
you
your
do
back and
not-
forth.
You do not speak to the guest
Ooh, what are you saying that in?
in common, but looking at Alvina, so it looks like I'm saying in common for the benefit of Alvina.
I'll just nod at the point.
I see the deception.
They appear to get a little defensive in their posture, as if the fact that you weren't able to understand them has thrown up some red flags.
Just one or two of them.
They also don't seem to have any glint of recognition at the words that you're saying to Almina either, so they don't appear to speak common. But for the rest of the party, does anyone speak Giant?
Yeah.
Fade.
I think it's
So,
only Fate
hey.
that speaks.
You are the only one who is able to hear and understand the apprentice Giant effectively asking, "What are you doing here? This is a restricted area. Are you with a? Do you have an honor guard with you? Who are you?"
I'm going to limp in because I look very sort
Weird.
of undead and weird kind of thing. I'm going to make it look like I'm a straggler and struggling to keep up, and I'm going to pretend like I'm their translator.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can see the fire giant apprentice is starting to kind of edge closer to various furniture.
It was with a chair.
Yeah. Clocking that.
Ah, there you are.
They're definitely suspicious now, and any checks will be at disadvantage to persuade them.
Um,
I'm going to just say as imperious as I can. What did they say?
Chris, I've already forgotten what they said. They asked if you had an honor guard.
They're trying to figure out basically who the hell are you? Why are you here? If you're like guests or with another faction, you should have like a guide with you or like somebody official to guide you around.
Yeah, I am. I've got a 14 charisma. I'm not the best at myself coming up with lies. What do I say?
That one's a little bit tricky because of your lack of knowledge of giant formalities.
Oh no,
Um,
I do know giants. I got a tattoo of one from. No, I know Onis.
which have a different culture than fire giants.
Tell them a rough equivalent of I am an envoy from Imix's rib sent to have a look around.
And I do that while trying to draw myself up to full size and look kind of intimidating because I feel like they would respond to that. Or not actually, I tell Alvina to do that because she's much more intimidating than me.
I am set up, but also I'm not very intimidating.
Oh, I guess it's me then. I will.
Yeah,
intimidating.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead
am
and
set up
give
to look
me a deception check at disadvantage.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm trying to.
intimidating nearby.
I will help with that to give you advantage.
I am trying
give
to
you a
look
flat roll.
self-important, not intimidating. Is what I'm trying to do.
The
'Cause
point
I'm
is
trying to
trying to look
roll
intimidating.
To look intimidating, will that give me advantage? Got flat roll.
No.
No,
Yeah,
but
so still
I can give you help to give you a flat roll.
Is that allowed, Chris?
Are you giving the help action or are you using a class feature?
Help action.
Because a help action requires you to be able to actually do something that helps with said action. So what are you doing that actually is helping this?
Um,
Remember, guys, the help action is not a default ability.
Bards
What-
can inspire, can't they?
Hmm?
Bards can inspire, can't they?
Yes.
Oh yes, actually, yeah. I'll give you bardic inspiration then.
So I'll do the same,
But
but in a very
cool.
intimidating way.
What are your dice?
So mine, I believe, is a D10 now.
And I think mine's still a
I think
D6.
it's a 10 and an 8.
Yeah.
Still, goddamn.
But the D6 you get at advantage.
Oh, cool. And
Yeah,
and
it's got a special thing.
wait, what? I get it. So yours is a D8.
No.
The
Uh,
D10 and the D6.
points.
Do you
is
remember
D6.
that under
Where's the
the
advantage?
player's handbook, a creature can only use one bardic inspiration die at a time?
Oh.
Yeah, we actually looked that up afterwards. It's like, oh shit, I
Alright.
shouldn't have used like a bunch of 40 or so previously, but
So you can use one bardic inspiration die per roll. So use whichever one's higher.
So it is deception with disadvantage.
Yes.
So
And you
I
can roll the
don't
d6 twice.
so ignore the roll afterwards.
Yeah.
So a 14. I'm going to use my knowledge from a past life to roll an extra d6 and add that.
Okay.
Which is another 2. So 16, and I'll roll. I'll take the d10. Move turn order. D10. Oh, piss off.
Jesus.
17.
Still.
That's low.
Not bad.
Yeah, to be fair though, I while you have disadvantage, their DC didn't change, so it was still only 15.
Okay.
So you still managed to beat their DC 15 because they're not the brightest sparks in
Yeah.
this ship.
They're interns.
They're apprentices, you know. They're still young. And also the idea that somebody is down here who, like, they're very unbelieving that anyone just snuck in here, given that you are effectively in the most restricted area in the foundry. Which somehow adds to your credibility that maybe you're supposed to be here by some goddamn reason.
Yeah, we just walked into this room.
The last
full of-
warm
You're
let us in.
So as you call upon not only all of your allied help with your bardic inspiration die, but as you also call upon your knowledge from a past life, a fragment of a memory chunders to the surface as
Which
this
creature? The fiery part of me, or the
Sure.
what?
Mhm.
Or kobold, or
from
the
the aboleths.
aboleths?
Yes.
I have aboleth DNA.
Now you do.
Yeah, you had some in your bag, remember? That's why you have tentacles on your back.
Those are rat tails.
Oh. Where do you have aboleths from? Chris, when you had aboleths or something?
You know what? That's fine.
Now you do. Now you do.
Add an aboleth eye.
So
Cool.
blame Drax, ask again later.
Drax did it.
Drax did
To
it.
be fair, you were also supposed to be bringing knowledge from Reflection back up north. That's which is why you had Assassin in custody.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume you still had that information on your person when you blew up.
I'll have some psychic fungus and shit.
But either way, a very not necessarily insightful, almost encyclopedic knowledge of fire giant formalities resurfaces as if you're reading through a Wikipedia page and suddenly recall the knowledge. You don't have the nuance to really truly encapsulate and understand what it is you're reading, but in this moment, it gives you just the right phrase and title here and there to slip into your sentence as you tell the apprentices not that you're from Imix's rib,
Okay.
but rather you are from the great conglomerate of inquisitive oh god, what is it called now? Inquisitive breath.
Okay.
And that you are here to effectively gauge the skill level of the various fire giants.
Ah.
And that in order to do this, you have to have free reign of the facility without oversight, as is your right as being part of the Order of the Inquisitive Breath.
As part of that, can I ask them each to bring forth the creation that they're most proud of?
That they have to hand.
So that, yeah, loot that they have in this room. If this is indeed a storeroom.
Now here's the thing. This
Right.
isn't loot. This is give them it back, and then we can loot later when we're not actually being watched.
Yeah.
Better stuff.
Maybe we'll take the best one and proclaim that kid the best, and then the other 4 will beat that one up.
That's not how it works. They'll be
we have one
begrudging.
to work on.
We have to wait until later when they're in the bunkhouse to beat the shit out of the other one.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, don't promote too much competition, else they will go outside to get more.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. Make them feel slightly begrudging if we're going that route.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Is it still at disadvantage, or is this one at 5?
This will be a flat roll as you have managed to claw yourself back into some measure of credibility. Somehow.
That's the base skill I'm not good at.
You're the only one who speaks the.
Ooh.
5.
They all kind of look at each other and they kind of start kind of looking a bit more not hostile or anything. They look a bit more uncertain, a bit more kind of like bashful almost, as they kind of like look and they kind of like stop meeting Alvina's eye line. And as they start mumbling under their breath, which only Faye can recognize, of just, I mean, we've not really made anything. I don't really think it's our place to present any form of. We really wouldn't be the ideal candidates to show or present anything. We can get someone more senior if, as they start effectively doing the manager shuffle.
I just raise my hand. Just like, is like a stop point.
The envoy commands you to stop.
They all stop mumbling.
If you are not what we were promised, we will continue our search for the next apprentice.
I basically just go as you were.
Go back to your studies if you are not the ones we are looking for. And I'm gonna try and convey a sense of disappointment in them.
Yay!
No, you are not one we are looking for. Mr. Superman, no here.
As they all start, a couple of them start shuffling to the door, and the ones furthest from the door immediately turn and start like looking busy as if they're at work.
The two that are heading towards the door there are going to be a problem.
No, we just have to bullshit our way through. I'm just going to continue walking, trying to basically have them, when they're in front of the door, I want to be passing behind them that way. Essentially.
Fair. You do so. What is the rest of the party still just out of line of sight watching all of this? What would you like to do?
Fade, you're with that group.
Yeah.
I can't move
Just
those.
on the other side of the door, just like, I don't know.
How the fuck did that work? I think you guys are going. It felt...
Waiting with bated breath to hear screams.
I don't hear
They're
fighting.
not dead yet.
Hurry up. Two are leaving. We pass through quickly.
Huh? Did you go?
Literally go along the lines of move slaves. Or something like that. This is the only way we're going to get the rest of them through.
Giant, I'm going to shepherd them through and say, move, servants. Continue. Take notes. Then other things. And bring the... And I point at sword off. None of you can understand this because it's all in giant.
You're just going to whisper, get moving quick and look like slaves.
You're also cutting in and out, James, so we can barely understand you.
Sorry. Good. I tell you to bring the gift, and as I point at sword off as you come through the door, but whispering, come along and look humble, look like servants.
If anyone asks, Alvin's a dragon. How did this work?
Did we tell them you were a dragon?
No, I think I just like glared around the room and I look weird enough and I literally glow. So.
No, but unbeknownst, I guess technically unbeknownst to the party themselves, but for the players, Fade recalled a specific order of what would be quality inquisitors or investigators that are known as, which is one of the dragon factions.
I got that from the Inquisitive Breath, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the Order of the Inquisitive Breath, or the faction of the Inquisitive Breath.
I was ready for it to be Cloud Giants.
You found out
Oh, no.
the quality assurance testers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It would, Cloud
Feels
Giants
right.
are way too smug for this.
Also, probably never to come up, but all of the primordial monarchy tends to be divided by elemental type rather than by creature type. So you're far more likely to find fire giants and fire dragons together in this world than you are to find fire giants and cloud giants sharing secrets.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, to me, makes sense that they'd send the envoy would be a red dragon going down, because I don't think most of the others would be quite happy to be sent down into a volcano.
Yes, giants and dragons are also the two highest of the creature types within the primal monarchy, with the weird exception of elementals, which kind of actually skew all the levels of the hierarchy.
Makes sense. It'd be the power of the elemental, I imagine. Like, some of them would be really high, and some of them would be dirt.
Yeah, it's obviously, since the monarchs themselves are technically elementals, so you end up this weird scenario where elementals occupy all of the various ranks, whereas all the other creature types like dragons and giants tend to be higher up, and other elemental types tend to be lower down, particularly anything humanoid. But anyway,
things.
If Fades walks up close enough to me, when we're out of earshot of anyone, I'll nudge him and go, "Okay, what organization is it? Because you've definitely managed to get some bullshit here. With what? Who did you say we're working for?"
And guessing we're all walking past these guys.
yes.
Looked like
You can
Spade.
hear Faye kind of mumbling to you to like hurry up, look diminished.
Can
you're
I-
gonna-
Or making eye contact with anybody.
Can I make an insight check on the ones we're passing?
yeah, go for it.
I basically want to see what the reaction to us is, using my sort of rough sort of skills as a psychiatrist to see if they actually. Nope, that's not gonna work this time.
As you pass by, you notice them kind of they're definitely like kind of trying to peek out of the corner of their eyes, but they're doing it in such a way that they're trying not to look around, so they're limiting in what they can see. They're more preoccupied of not being caught than they are of actually gaining or gleaming anything from the moving party. But you do see one of them kind of just tilt their head a little bit at the back end of the party coming through before kind of their eyes shift back to Alvina, and they immediately just kind of turn right back towards the cupboards that they're looking in front of. You get a massive sense of not so much fear or anger, but definitely anxiety.
I've just realised something as well. I am walking through, pretending to be a red dragon with a chunk of dragon on my hip. Of a different type of dragon.
You had an argument.
And I won, evidently.
Yeah.
Yay. Also,
That's
Alvina,
good.
actually, I think also Alvina would at least have some idea of how a red dragon's personality acts, because she's actually met a few.
I know.
In her backstory, so try to
You're able to just-
channel that.
You carry yourself in a way of that you've seen dragons transform into humanoids to do so.
Yeah.
If any of the fire giants are getting too close and raising an eyebrow, I'm gonna just sort of in giant mutter, "Noids make the best servants, don't they?" And sort of do that mean kind of chuckle.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Oh, it's
We get-
funny because you're like hunchback monstrosity.
Yeah, I'm a
Um,
hunchback monster that looks dead.
You look weird, so you could be anything.
I'm a weird fucking guy.
As the party crosses the landing of this room and hits the next door, the door opening at any presence of fire that you present in front of yourself.
Yeah, going
you-
quickly through in that sort of speed walking, trying to look like we're not actually running away before we get from.
As the door opened and you catch line of sight down this curved hallways lined with podiums against the western wall, you catch 3 of the teenaged apprentices conferring with what looks to be one of the previous apprentices you previously scolded. And as they are kind of like, they seem to be whispering and gossiping as as they catch sight of your presence, immediately go quiet and turn back to studying the podium with such an intense interest. It's amazing how devoted these students are to their studies.
Teacher just walked through.
But they do not seem to challenge you as you make your way. It appears that word of mouth has prefaced your arrival.
I'm gonna make it like a bit of a show of looking at the podiums that we passed, like of a bit of interest.
That's
Like,
fair.
"Oh, yeah,
As you're
this looks
passing each of the
quite
podiums,
good."
each podium, while quite large, and you're having to almost go on your tiptoes a little bit to peer at it, as it's standing at like a 6 to 7 foot height.
Wait,
It's my
Perfect
hat.
for looking down as a giant,
No.
but
I'm gonna do something just for the RP sake.
Oh, you're gonna do what I think you're about to do.
I'm gonna get down on my. Sorry,
Yeah.
master. I'm slow, and duck so you can step on me and go.
Oh my
I
God.
nod and you just stand on your back and to view it properly.
you guys are really selling this, aren't you? As you do so, as you get that little bit extra height, you see down, and just kind of glancing left and right down the alcoves as well. They each appear to be some measure of craft, either a single beautifully crafted ingot of the glassy black iron obsidian, or some sort of bust of metalwork, tools, a dagger of glistening quality imbibed with these red glowing crystals. Slightly more matted than Arcanite, for example. Arcanite's got a bit more of a sheen to it. It seems to almost glisten and shimmer of magic, whereas these ones appear to be almost sucking in a little bit of the light. They're a little bit more darker, not quite blood red, but a little bit more kind of darkness to the red as it absorbs some of the light into it. You can almost, though, as Alvina, as you get an eye line with like one of the crystals on, let's say, like a pommel of a dagger, it seems to speak to you in a way reminiscent of what the previous fire items you've discovered are. So similar to the crown, similar to Sawdoff's key, they seem to glisten with almost like the essence of fire or primordial fire energy within them.
So I'm going to. This is a dagger, right?
Yes, a large dagger, more like a short sword for you.
Mhm. I'm going to lift it off of its plinth or whatever it's on, basically, and just admire it.
You do so. From your untrained eye, it looks wonderful. Incredibly sharp, glistening with energy. The black obsidian blade is shimmering with a pristine glossiness.
The weapon is the weapon cool to the touch still, despite the fire crystals in it?
No. So this is this is slightly different to the silvery dark iron metal of the doors.
Yeah.
That one's cold to the touch. This is actually warm to the touch. So iron obsidian actually channels the heat through it and is able to disperse it in a way that's different to the iron glass, which is able to just massively redirect any heat.
As you're looking at it, fuck you in his fire, whatever it's called, I forget what it's called. Form.
Trance.
Azir.
So in his Azir form, he's gonna go up and start pointing at different aspects of it and just random screeching. And
Yeah, just to try to sound dragony.
yeah.
Yeah. When that happens, is there a particularly nervous-looking young fire giant near at hand?
Well, let's find out.
Or one,
This
or one who
guy's
keeps
suspicious, this
glancing,
guy's
or one who keeps
blustery.
glancing in our direction.
Oh yes, the first one, highly suspicious, constantly glancing at you.
Okay.
Little
Gonna
eye
look
icon
round
for
at
him.
them then, and in giant say, "You. The envoy demands to know. It demands that you explain this object. To test your mettle, to test your knowledge. Come forth."
Ooh. Give me either an intimidation or persuasion check.
I am actually proficient in intimidation, so it will be that one.
I like that. I wasn't even going for this. I was going to kind of take this one because I like it.
Well,
I'm fine with this.
Intimidation, normal roll. Oh, for fuck's sake, D&D.
29.
Oh no, I don't have guidance on. It's just
25.
a 25.
I mean, 25 is still pretty good.
It's very good.
Yeah. Just a 25.
Just a 20.
Just a 25.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he dawdles,
he
I repeat it and say, "Come forward."
Wait,
the other two,
was that
hilariously
not
start
one of the
taking a
ones
backpack away from
that, we had disadvantage against?
No, that's the furthest away one who is now immediately trying to sneak away.
He doesn't want to be called on.
Wait, you said the first one. I thought that was one of those guys.
Oh no, we're
First one's
going first one just in this order.
Right,
Three
right,
I
right,
have.
Closest one.
Cool.
I made him the suspicious one, so he's constantly glancing over at you because
Makes
that's what I
sense.
rolled on his random character trait. So he kind of starts kind of he glances back over his shoulder at his two retreating co-workers, and for a second you can see panic stricken across his face before he starts to shuffle forward, and at the second command, just starts immediately rushing forward and kind of bowing his head and in giant. Yes, the great Ignari apologizes for his tardiness. You wished me to tell you about this great sculpture. This is one of our famed obsidian iron or daggers with a pommel of cinder crystal. God, I had an actual name for the red crystal. It's cinder something.
Cinder spark.
Cinderite.
Ooh, might be cinderite. Apparently, I wrote it down on a piece of
Cinderella?
paper. I never actually transferred it to my damn computer. So I'll look for that later.
By the way, who in the group had language? I know someone did tongues.
Assassin's got
On the
tongues.
assassin, they're asleep. I dropped it because I speak most of the language.
You think what the ones that we need? Yeah, I was going, shit, it'd be really handy if I had tongues on right about now.
Yeah, but we need. If I suddenly start casting spells, I'll seem like more than just a regular ass translator.
Oh yeah, that was meaning when we were getting looked at. It would have been handy to just bonk it onto me. At least
Anyway.
in case
It's
there
like
actually
you got
isn't.
demoted.
I'm a very low ranked red dragon.
I never actually picked my level up spell, so.
We do have tongues, but so far we've been surrounded by people. So I'm not doing spells while pretending to be a slave.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
you
not how
definitely
slaves
should.
work.
Yeah, you definitely should.
Apparently, they were called cinder crystals. They have a red-orange hue to them,
Fair enough.
and they seem to shift with fire energy within the very crystals. And who is breathing too close to the mic right now? I'm watching you guys.
I'm not breathing at all.
Neil is dead.
I muted myself to avoid this.
Breathing at all.
I didn't do it, my Dark Overlord, because I was dead at the time.
I got better.
We're not
Awesome.
asking who it isn't, Neil. For fuck's sake, we're asking who it is. This isn't the. It wasn't me.
Yeah, it's mostly just for people to
Don't
monitor
shrug your-
themselves.
Yeah, don't
Alright,
shrug your shoulders and go, "Oh, what me, gov?" No. not at all.
Anyway,
Or
the
governor.
turn goes on mumbling. Actually, let's make him do an intelligence check. I want to see if he fails this.
Oh fuck
Oh,
you.
see if he doesn't know.
Well, he's nervous, so he might forget things.
Oh god, what's their proficiency? Ooh, wow, we got decent proficiency.
Yeah, fire giants are quite intelligent.
Yeah, but Larry, he doesn't have intelligence. He just has proficiency in his craft. So he has a 7.
Does he get it wrong?
So he starts mumbling over himself, and you can definitely see that if anyone's ever had to explain something to a manager, even though you know what you're talking about, as soon as you're asked to explain it, all knowledge just gets wiped from this guy's head as he starts to fumble over his words, coming up with these half Cockney explanations of what he's doing, and starts to yes.
Half London.
half-cocky explanations where he's clearly trying to express more bravado than actual knowledge behind his words. And you can tell because he's deliberately now picking more and more complicated or seemingly intelligent words. Yeah, he's overcompensating his explanation, trying to look way smarter than he actually is. As anyone knows, the more intelligent words you use, the less you actually know what you're talking about.
Yep.
The true intelligence is being able to explain something in a way that somebody can easily understand. He goes on for this for a solid couple 5 to 10 minutes until you, for however long you take to stop him.
I'm rolling my eyes as I translate, and
I'm just dead-eyed staring him.
Yeah, I'm gonna slip in at some point because I've not seen him understand common. Dart, wave your hand to shut him up at any time, please.
I know. I am literally when you mentioned that particularly, I am just dead-eyed staring at him, just boring holes into him. The longer he talks,
1,000-yard stare sort of thing.
No, the glaring at someone who's calling you on your bullshit and he knows you're just vamping stare.
Yeah. Then at that point, I'll turn back to him as I continue talking.
Has he noticed I'm doing that?
I'll make myself look smaller in such a way as to. I'm trying to make this young fire giant think that the longer he keeps talking, the angrier that Alvina's getting, and I am very anxious about that.
Has he spotted that I'm trying to scare
Is he insightful?
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, he's directing all of this at Alvina themselves, given Alvina is the envoy, seemingly. Yeah. And you could just see that even though it's already roasting in here and his skin is already glistening from today's work, he is now bucketing down sweat as he is talking to you, increasingly getting more and more. You can see their eyes starting to visibly shake as they are staring at you, and they are constantly having to lick their lips as they seem to be parched of any sort of hydration. And Neil, I'm watching you breathe into your mic again. This time I know it's you.
It was definitely you, Neil.
Yeah.
At some point, I'm going to stop talking and just sort of shrink slightly away to the side. So that he's just talking, and before he becomes aware that I'm not actually translating, and I'm about 3 feet away from Alvina, who is clutching the sword and boring holes into this guy, knowing what comes next.
I'm not even clutching the sword. I have just got arms folded. I've not even got that. And when he gets to just the right amount, when he sounds like he stutters at one point, I'm just gonna snort, wave my hand like a get out of here, and then turn away.
Ooh,
as he bolts in the other direction. And Neil, get inspiration for your snark.
Thank you.
Neil.
Nice one, Neil.
I really liked the I'm dead and I got better comments.
Yeah, it's good. And I just whisper, and when he's gotten far enough away, I went, well, that worked quite well. Maybe I can. Maybe I can play dragon.
Yes, you can. So he nearly like trips over himself. Actually, let's give him an acrobatics check here. Go on acrobatics.
Fall in your face. Fall in your face.
No.
He is. Point.
Nearly trips, but perfectly recovers and is just bolting down as the 2 others immediately start quickening their pace away.
Sweet.
Well, I think we will be able to get through much easier now.
Yes.
Well, as far as the students are concerned,
Get
we
off
shouldn't have too much trouble.
Question.
Get off my bloody back now, you fucking elf!
Let's make.
I tick him slightly and then just glance towards the other room that there are still people in.
We should hurry.
I take this sword. I'm taking this.
I imagine the door is like sealed over, and as soon as it's done, and like the entire corridor seems to have evacuated in your presence somehow. I'll be honest, the party going in and somehow evacuating the rooms at their presence wasn't how I saw this going, but interesting. Okay.
Giants, yeah.
You and everybody else.
Alvina.
Thank you.
You slip the obsidian dagger, or the obsidian dagger.
I'm a
Short
surprise.
sword.
As you
I'll put giant essentially on it.
Yeah.
Can I take a quick look through the stuff here and see if I can find the tools that we're looking for?
Yeah, how much
Oh,
obsidian iron are we finding in here? That
Is there is there an inventory laying around like on a wall, like a sheet, a requisition form?
It wouldn't be a requisition form. This is the like the craft hall of fame.
With tools hanging up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
these are each like individual like examples of pristine craft that people like the students come and examine as like inspiration and aspiration.
Has it been 10 minutes or less since we entered? Because I did
You
cast
entered
detect magic.
this room. From the previous room. We'll say it's just coming to an end, but as you glance down, at least half of the items, including the red fire pommel of the dagger that Alvina took, are all glowing magic. These are all various kinds of magic items. Or at least half of them. The other half is just really pristine craft.
I have a quick check. Does there happen to be something that looks very similar to what I'm wearing on my waist? In this room.
Remind me what you're wearing on your waist.
A belt of giant strength.
I am also
Belt
looking
giant
for something along those lines, please and thank you, because I want to stay stronger than Wolfie's character for once.
You're not stronger than me, though.
I mean, I am.
I've got 21.
Oh.
You're not.
Shut up. I want to get stronger than Wolfie's character.
Let's roll a fate check.
Is that there's a chance in here? I'm not banking it, but there might be.
No, I'm trying to think just how much metal is incorporated into it is the problem.
I think if it's a fire giant strength, which I imagine if there would be one in here, it'd be a fire giant strength. That one I can imagine having metal. I'd say fire and storm are the two that I can imagine having metal. The others probably not. Because of just what those two are like.
I don't know.
Normally, at least.
Stone might have metal.
That's what I said. Oh, stone. Now, stone's always like leather,
No.
isn't it? Because they've got rocky hides.
No, stone's made of stone, my dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, given the rarity of it, it's probably incorporating a lot more than just the metalwork. Whereas the dagger was just an incredibly beautifully crafted and uncommon dagger. I'm gonna limit anything in this hall to being excellent craft, but magically no more than uncommon.
Okay.
I thought I'd look for it at least.
Like it's high enough craft that it hits into magic territory of uncommon because it's so damn good.
Yeah, it's just
but it's also just examples of metalwork predominantly rather than magic craft.
Okay.
Real quick party question: does anyone have an immovable rod?
No.
Nope.
Then, Chris, are there any immovable rod-looking things around here? Because they are uber useful in multiple situations.
I'm gonna go with no because that seems more like a magic item than an example of pristine metal craft.
Here's one.
Okay.
Would there be a gauntlet? A just really good obsidian iron gauntlet.
You want a boxing glove?
Yeah,
made of metal.
See, that seems fine because that's just metalwork. That isn't highly complex artificery.
That's what I was going for. It'd be the base for the glove that I want. It'd be
So there's probably also one or two other like really cool uncommon metal weapons. There's probably some like plate in here. Some nice examples of some very nice boots. Maybe a good obsidian iron shield. Things of that variety in the Metalwork Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I'm definitely having the gauntlet. I want a gauntlet.
But do we really want to rob the Hall of Fame?
Not all of it. I want to take one. I'm hiding the dagger. I'm taking one piece. I'm gonna be carrying it around with me underarm for a little while.
Yeah, because that's not going to look suspicious, just walking around with a museum piece under your arm.
And it's
not going to look suspicious at all.
I mean, it fits our cover story if anyone apart from teenagers buys that.
The main one, I could basically go, because I've got tongues on me now. I could actually ask, I want to know who made this, is our one.
Ooh.
That's why I'm going to be carrying it. I want to know who actually made it, because it's a really nice piece, and I appreciate it's a nice piece. It's actually a bit working.
What the fuck is the plan?
Right,
The first thing
our plan, we need to find some of that fire. But the problem is,
We need.
I only see
Yeah.
one door, and that's the end of the room, which appears to be going into
Where we don't want to go.
where we don't want to go.
Yeah, we need
So
some
do we want-
primordial and living fire.
Yes.
Oh,
Because
so
we've
we
got
need...
the obsidian iron that we need now.
Are you sure? We got
This-
enough?
This gauntlet. And
You
it's
have it in
happening.
crafted form. You don't have any ingots of it.
Yeah. It's
You have
like
to
we
smelt
can.
it down.
Yeah. It's because I want it made into a gauntlet. Essentially, I want so it wouldn't be too hard to probably adjust it.
You did say there was an ingot of it in the other room.
I also would need the tools required to
Good
make...
call. We do need to make the. We do need the. Can you work obsidian iron with normal tools? Would you think?
No.
Just not at all.
No, the metal would be...
The
metal...
The
Would
temperature
be-
you need to melt the
Yes.
obsidian iron would have melted the iron a long time ago, basically, is what you're trying to get, isn't it?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, so we
Is-
do need some tools.
Primordial fire would just melt normal iron tools to a puddle of slag.
Oh, we're not having... The gauntlet's a separate thing from the primordial fire.
Yes, but I suspect that primordial fire is used in part of the process of making the tools and the iron and everything else.
Question. These things in the previous room, the little well-looking things, are they tables?
Yeah, this appears to be some sort of like relaxing room, or some sort of like office
sort of
meeting area.
staff
It's like a
room,
lounge.
I
cafe.
mean, I was thinking like sort of student union kind of thing.
I was basically making sure those were tables and not wells of lava.
No, they are tables and chairs.
Cool.
And two giant statues of prominent-looking fire giant smiths.
So we definitely just walked into the break room and said, "Right, we're the inspectors. Show us your work."
Basically,
More
yeah.
or less, yes.
We are.
Only way
We just walked in and went. We are legitimate businessmen.
More or less. No, he went. I am like the CEO of a different company. Show me your shit. I don't like that the turn order just popped up.
Yeah.
It's been there
Well,
for a
the
while.
turret's been popped up ever since you actually entered the room and
for
failed on
me-
yourself.
For me,
Yeah.
it popped back up.
It flashed back up with
Yeah.
turn order and all the right end, and now it's disappeared.
Yeah.
The only way I know exactly what is used in the forge, if it's primordial fire or whatever else it is to actually see one of the forges directly, but I'm not too keen on walking straight into there.
That's ballsy.
Yes, but it's the only way I can know for sure what exactly the process is. I need to be able to observe it for long enough to understand it, but it's risky.
Yeah. Risky might be. We have to do. There isn't a door here, by the way, right? This was a wall.
That is the wall.
Thought so.
Okay.
Short of you bullshitting your way through watching one of them use a forge on the far end somewhere, I don't know how we can...
The hard part would be managing to convince the giants that aren't the interns.
Yes. I could turn you invisible, Doctor, so that you can go in. But either if they can detect invisibility or see invisibility or
Something similar.
suddenly they are, if they are alerted to our presence further away.
The only chance we've got to get into that big room is we really pull off the bullshitting our way through.
I feel we have been
Fortunate so far.
yes, lucky.
Yeah. Also, I can't help but notice that, so we've got one major problem that we haven't really addressed yet. We can't get out again if we don't go through that main room.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't scale out of
Ah,
the pit.
Yeah.
Well,
I've been saving levitate to get some of us
You're-
out, but
You're one to talk. I got in and out easily. I flew
can
down
fly.
3 of those passages.
wait. If you can bullshit your way into that room, we may have a way out. I noticed another one of those weird circle things in the middle of near the far end.
Other thing we think is a lift.
Yes.
Oh. So,
Well, I'd have one more thing to check first, though.
What?
Basically, no. If we could go through and maybe have a look at the rest of the rooms down here, it'd have more credibility. Two, we'd find the good stuff as well, without getting it too much. Because if we just walk in and teleport up, it's going to alert literally everybody. If it'll go up there, it's going to alert literally everything.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to play this, we have to go a whole hog. It'd basically just be, hope to hell we don't find who's in charge of the floor.
Okay. Well, the biggest important one is probably at the end of this hall that I could see when I initially looked in.
Also, if you're wondering, the main reason that I want to have tongues on, it's not to understand giant. It's in case someone calls me on dragon, I can't speak draconic.
Does anyone speak Draconic here?
I want to learn, but I haven't.
I also speak Draconic.
Yeah. But it'd be a very telling one if the dragon can't speak Draconic.
Fine. Let's.
We're gonna have to just bullshit our way through and
Go
be
back.
good translators, essentially, for me. I will act as if I don't know what they're saying. Still.
Go through that room again.
Yeah, we go back into this. We go back into that room. We go up into the main room. Have a scan around. Hope to heck that there's some sort of badge on whoever's in charge. That we can avoid them. And,
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure he's, like, the biggest guy. I'm sure he's, like, the biggest person in here.
probably, but it could just be
Yeah.
the oldest guy. He could be like a master smith.
The biggest, the oldest.
The
looking-
mightiest beard, understood.
Yes, the biggest hammer.
And also then we could
Yeah.
maybe swipe Zomir a couple of tools.
At the mightiest beard, the point attempts to stroke his beard.
Sounds
Don't
fine.
forget, he's currently disguised as Nazir. Just goes,
It's still a beard, it's just a fire beard.
yeah, but immediately just burns himself. Like, oh, ow.
Shit, forgot.
Well,
That was the only side.
you have to now portray that you're doing inspections then.
Should we perhaps make you, well, now that the apprentices have seen you, maybe they'll tell their masters about you, but should we perhaps make you look more official? Now
Honestly,
that's the story we're sticking with.
The one thing I could say for official, because it's a dragon. Dragons don't really care. People know that they're a dragon. If I make, is there any way that you can maybe have like a magically thing up that if I do like certain things, like steam comes out of my nose or something?
Oh, like minor illusion.
Kinda.
If you have a team of bards.
Yeah, I mean.
Without anybody noticing is the main one that you guys are doing it.
I mean.
I don't have subtle spell yet.
Minor illusion is somatic and material. You might not notice it if I do it stealthily enough.
I have a vape pen here you can use.
I don't
It
think
look
that
like
would work.
smoke.
I don't think
I can give you like more charisma. That might work or help.
that would definitely help. That will definitely help.
But aren't you concentrating on the tongues?
This doesn't need to be concentration.
The tongues is just pat them and it works for an hour.
Oh.
We've got an hour.
Real quick, what's do you have tattoos, right, Alvina?
Glowing red tattoos.
Are they in Draconic?
I don't really know. Would that be a thing? If it could be, I'd be totally down for that, Chris. But I don't know if that would be a possible thing.
What I'm meaning is, I have like some paint and oil and such. I can just daub Draconic sigils on you to make you look more threatening. Because I understand the language. I could make it. I could write your name or something, just like a symbol. Like maybe there's a famous-ish dragon. Like slightly famous dragon that someone may have heard of at some point that we could...
like the emblem of the Inquisitor's breath or something.
Yeah.
That one would work on my back. I'd say for the name, I'm just going to go with a dragon that no one's heard of. I'm just going to use my own last name. If anyone asks for my name, just go with my last name. I'm not supposed to be the big bad top red dragon. I am a red dragon they have sent to do this job.
Here's some random dragon.
Yeah, I am Alanor, if anyone asks.
While the party is discussing this, you feel a subtle shake in the ground, a vibration, as
It's our dear friend again.
a wave of heat hits the party. Not much, but a subtle increase of a few degrees in the air.
I
As
go to looking at whatever's in this area.
Glow from the north as it begins encroaching around the corner. Still currently out of line of sight, but you can see a glow almost as if a torch, but not as bright and more of just a aura of heat as somebody has entered the corridor.
Okay. We don't have time for that. We don't have time for
Heat
this.
dragon.
No, it's just going to be someone. But let's
It's a
just...
Primal Smith.
Let's just walk as if we're just fully going back round the corner into the break room that we've looked through here.
As the party re-enters the break room, you discover all of the apprentices have vacated.
Not surprised. Also, I'm going to be hiding the
Neil,
gauntlet
you
in my
need
back.
to move your mic, mate.
You're
constantly
very
breathing
breathy.
into it.
They're constantly trigger.
You slowly have the Primal Smith occasionally just moving towards you.
Yeah, we're just going to be casually strolling this way.
Other direction.
More or less. Swaggering with full confidence just out. And I'm going to be just looking around the room as I just pace, essentially, forwards.
Alright, as you enter out into the room, you see some immediate apprentices helping out, kind of just give you a glance and a strange look.
Sorry, could I have cast in... I'm going to cast invisibility on Doctor's arm here, just in case. Please.
Fair, you do so.
So that you can
assuming
sneak off
Zormir
and,
agrees.
Yeah. Like, you can sneak off and take notes while we keep whoever talking. That is still a good strategy, I feel. So I'm gonna... Yeah. I put my fiery hand on your shoulder and warmth spreads down you. And then, yeah.
You're gone. You're dead.
Disappeared.
As the party enters out into the main chamber and you begin making your way, while the apprentice kind of pause to ponder at you, the forge smiths take note off of their apprentices, kind of suddenly stop work, stop passing them stuff, and kind of glance in their direction as they seem to be staring at you quizzically. As the two firesmiths, this is when you must first face your how much can you bullshit way, being that you now have to somehow bluff the more senior staff members.
So we're back here then.
Yep. As you come out, the two forge smiths on either side are going to pause in their work. And it takes them a second or two if you want to try and like dash past, but that would probably seem more suspicious.
No.
You're gonna like get to like a stopping point in their work.
Do that then, since I'm
Place.
invisible.
I think I would nod at them and say, as you were, and keep on moving forward behind Alvina, because she's obviously moving like she owns the place.
As they block your path forward and look down, what is this? Well, whose authority are you in the forge?
You stand in the presence of the great Alanor, High Inquisitor, not High Inquisitor.
An Inquisitor.
Inquisitorus of the breath of...
breath.
What? Yeah. Inquisitorus of...
The club grumble of inquisitive breath.
Yeah, that shit.
The red dragon.
The red dragon Alanor.
Go ahead and give me your deception check.
Any advantage from that amazing?
I am helping, and I've got advantage on me.
You still have an inspiration from me from earlier.
You still got the bardic inspiration.
I do still have a couple, of
I'll allow
inspirational.
advantage because of the advantage that Alvina has.
Mhm.
You're getting magically helped there, at least.
Yeah, I'm trying to sell it for you.
Thank you.
They're helping you with their mere presence of authority.
As dragons do. Is that the way it's working?
Dragons do. It makes sense. That one at least, has at least a story sense to it.
On fade.
Come on.
These guys will
There we
have
go.
a
Deception.
higher deception threshold. You're looking for a DC 20.
Advantage.
As the more
Yes!
senior
Oh,
staff,
really?
much
26.
harder. They kind of glance at you and then glance at Alvina, and there's something. There's something about Alvina. Something about Eleanor that just screams draconic presence. They're not quite sure how to put a finger on it, but there's something about them that just eases their doubts. As they kind of glance at each other and give a strange look. And they kind of glance around the room. Nobody else is getting panicked or threatened. Everyone else is kind of staring with, like, the few closer of the forge smiths are also kind of glancing over, just kind of out of the corner of their eye, keeping an eye on the situation. Not out of any threat or danger or anything. More just, like, that casual curiosity of a new person is talking with the other employees that you've never seen. You're like, oh, who could they be? What's going on over there?
Who's talking with Jim from accounting?
Who's that? They're why do they
shit, are they an
why do they look like
auditor?
annoyed?
Oh no. We do.
Well, I don't think they'd assume auditor, given that you're a bunch of noids. Just one of them starts to come up this wild, like, story in their head of like, well, I don't know, man. I hear Inquisitors like take on noid personas because it makes you less assuming. It's a like draconic trick. Don't trust them.
Yeah.
They look like slaves, but that's how they get you.
Yeah. I've heard of these dragons.
Undercover boss.
Yeah,
Oh my
pretty
God.
much.
Like
Undercover
ultimate undercover
noids.
boss. Yep, undercover noid.
Oh, I've been infiltrating my own base as a Noid, and I've got to say the working conditions are terrible. I've been whipped so many times.
The food, terrible.
But with this, with your is it with the +2 as well? Or is it
No.
just 26?
Yeah, it's just 26. I'm concentrating on
Still,
this.
with the 26, you beat the DC 20 of the more senior staff. As they kind of go, you got any like official documentation?
I just give them a look. Anyone can
okay,
just
yep.
You can just imagine the
I
look.
got a red dragon.
As she continues, I give a half bow and say thank you for your hospitality and follow after her.
In the way of my secretary.
With audit quality.
No.
The quality audit allows us through with the inspections.
We're the inspectors. I can't believe that worked, to be honest. We are a dragon coming to give you an inspection. It works.
This is so good. I love this so much. I was really hoping it wouldn't be combat all the time. I mean, the combat is rapidly approaching us around the edge of that corridor.
Yeah, that's why I'm moving.
But the fact is, it's going to come to us rather than us stumbling into it, which is nice for a change.
Are you going up on the platform, or are you kind of just going around the platform?
I'll be going around the platform because I want to have a proper look around. It looks actually better. We're not going to get immediately jumped by going, why is the auditor just leaving immediately?
Cool. Yeah, because I figured you were just moving the icons forward. I just wanted to double check. As you kind of skirt around it, was Zormir, who is invisible, wanting to do anything as the party passes?
I'm gonna be observing this guy as he works and try to see inside the forge to see if it's actual.
There are also doorways here.
That's
If
why
I
was
can
looking for
see,
doors. Yeah. Cheers.
see if it's anything different from, like a normal flame or normal materials that you'd use to stoke a forge.
As you look into it, I don't think there's any skill check required here. Just with your innate knowledge, you look in and see the temperature, especially in the large stone forges here. They are, first of all, incredibly high temperature. like the blistering heat at even being even a fraction close to these forges is already giving you a permanent tan. But as you look in, you're having to like squint your eyes a little bit just from the sheer glow of the forge. But the forge masters are just like plunging their hands into it and molding as if the things inside are clay. But as you're looking, the flame itself doesn't look to be unique in any way. It doesn't look to be what you'd believe it doesn't look to be special enough for you to consider maybe it's primal fire. It kind of just looks like a really hot forge. The art all seems to be in the forge master's magic itself as they are manipulating and crafting the metal. And here they seem to just be making like steel or obsidian iron bars, as they do appear to be working and molding obsidian iron with their hands.
Is there a set of tools nearby?
For the Forge Masters, there's these small sculpting tools like you would expect from maybe like a clay molder to have, or like reminiscent of, I guess, for anyone who hasn't seen clay tools, what dentist tools look like. There's that similar fashion of like the pointy ends and like the for scraping and like imprinting past turns and detail work on it.
Gotcha.
It seems that while their magic is able to craft and manipulate metal incredibly well, they still rely on tools for the finer points, the finer details and patterning and texture.
They can make it into the rough shape, but need to detail it.
Yeah. There probably is like one or two that can manage the detail, but they'd be crazy high.
Yeah. However, the tools themselves are obsidian iron tools, and they glisten with that same glossy glassness.
If we've walked past a good way, or we've not gotten there yet, maybe nick them, but don't do it while we're right here.
I want to see if I can distinguish if there's anything that looks like tongs for using in the really hot fire or anything that I typically use as someone who works with metal.
I'm going to assume someone immune to fire doesn't need tongs to take things out of fire.
Yeah,
but
especially if
something
they're
that looks
molding the metal with their hands.
Looks close enough to that sort of thing. I would need
something you could use as tongs.
Yeah, something.
2 big sticks.
Spoon.
Chopsticks.
Because obviously, unlike them, I can't work with fire in that kind of same way as they can.
Actually, if you could get 2 bits of detailing stuff, because they're for a giant, right? So they'd be a lot bigger than normal. So for them, it'd be like really tiny fine work. For you, it'd be quite big. So maybe.
Yeah, that's fair. They are probably not quite as big as a crowbar, like a mini crowbar size for you guys.
Like a half crowbar type thing.
Yeah, there's nothing that is purpose-built for what you're looking at, simply for the sheer fact that they don't use any of that technology tools, since they don't need to. It should also be noticed that only the Forge Masters appear to be actually crafting and manipulating the obsidian iron. All of the Forge Smiths are, while using obsidian iron like smith tools, are working with regular iron or aren't actually manipulating obsidian iron itself. So it seems to be a skill of the Forge Masters to actually forge it. Or at least that seems to be one of the ways in which to forge obsidian iron is with the high-level magic of a fire giant. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the only way, just that...
Yeah.
But you aren't seeing them use regular fire elsewhere to like mold it. It's only the Forge Masters who are molding it.
And I use my destiny point to essentially insight the sort of magical gestures, or at least use my insight to see the sort of the intricacies of the arcane, primal arcane sort of they're using.
You might not even need to use your destiny point for that.
Yeah, but it's like I say,
it's because I'm looking into the finer sort of detail of how they're doing it.
Yeah.
Give me a nature check to see if you understand how primordial magic works.
Ooh,
nature.
Cool.
All right. Nature's not my strongest suit.
Because there is this knowledge isn't while you might not be able to gain the finer details of how it actually works. Primordial power and primordial energy is technically a thing in the main sphere.
It's just rarer, right?
19.
No.
Yeah.
19?
So 19, you are aware of that what the fire giants here are doing isn't technically magic. It is said that primordials and elementals have a way of communicating with the very essence of nature. That they aren't actually manipulating the metal so much as they are communicating with the metal. They are communicating with the very elemental energies that compose of the material, and they have a way of controlling those energies almost with a symbiotic relationship with the elements themselves to ask them to rearrange themselves in certain forms.
Holy shit, I think I've just figured it out.
So
It'd be that weird magic that me and Fuck you were talking about the lady with.
Pyromancy.
The pyromancy stuff, yeah. It's a similar kind of thing to that, I think.
So maybe if I study druidic stuff or something like that.
Go on that weird dream trip that we're planning on taking.
It would actually be more reminiscent to what druids do, because this is actually one of the few people that do it is druids. They communicate with the elements themselves.
Yeah, it'd be druids and rangers, I guess. This is technically like little druid.
Yeah, they tend to be the closest ever actually coming to understand how primordial magic effectively works. But it is a realm that is
I think
not
that's
particularly well
what it's
explored.
going to turn into in the one D&D stuff.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hmm.
Hell, I need to play a druid next.
That'll be my thoughts are going through my head for that particular sort of thing.
That's cool. I like that a lot. That's really neat.
But that's what you see as you're watching the Forge Masters at work as the party continues forward. You notice a door to the far right, a slightly smaller door. I mean, maybe these corridors too small. A smaller door than you're used to, rather than the large, like 15-foot doors. This one appears to be a smaller, like 10-foot door. As you are traveling up north, just this little door over here. But what would the party like to do?
I'm debating whether to go straight for that door or to go for the bigger one.
Gotta decide soon, because the Primal Smith does not care.
I'll say we'll go up for the bigger door, and if we come back this way, we'll have a look in there before we leave. I've not taken Zormir, have I? Good. I was making sure I hadn't accidentally taken Zormir, because I don't know if he wants to follow us or wants to
I would probably suggest looking at the smaller door, just in case we don't come back this way.
Yeah. Smaller door says storeroom. Bigger door says I go somewhere important.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the smaller little door then. I'm not going to move us here because we're going to get completely mashed to pieces, like trying to organize this huge group. So we're going this way, basically, Chris.
In like the smaller door, it might be where they keep the iron ingots.
Maybe, and we can load up a couple of them. We don't need too many if we've actually got the gauntlet. We just need what it needs to adjust it. So, yep, go in here, basically.
Would you like to go to the north door or through the south door?
We'll do both in order, but I'll go with the north one first.
Oh, the north one first. As you open the door, you are met with the wafting smell of a beautifully charred boar. As an apprentice glances back at you with fear and panic across their face as they glance between you and the boar.
I will basically it's a roasting. Is this someone who's basically been caught roasting it in their off time when they're not allowed to? Does it look?
Yes, but also the look of fear and panic is also giving way to quizzicalness, and they're not actually sure if they've been caught now because they're not sure what they're looking at.
I will literally go hand out now.
Give me either intimidation or persuasion.
I don't really care for it. They're both the same, I think, so I'll just roll it with advantage. 15. Thank God that wasn't a one.
Yeah.
No, that actually didn't matter if I had advantage or not. The advantage would not have helped.
As the apprentice kind of just takes a large iron knife and just slices a chunk off and hands it to you very hesitantly before like kind of just putting their finger up to their lips and winking at you.
I just
in an unsure wink.
I just like make that next like a nodding growl and just nod and then close the door back up and take it and just eat it.
Was anyone with Alvina as they leave? Was
I mean,
actually you had tongues up, right? So you understand what he.
Oh, he understood exactly what I said.
As you turn and the door begins to like seal back on itself, you just hear Jai mumbling, "What the fuck was?"
That guy, if we actually get out of this scot-free, that guy is gonna be, what the fuck? I just fed a dragon.
Yeah, and his mates are never gonna believe him.
Yeah, the Inquisitor walked up behind me, asked for basically just a chunk of pork, and then just accepted the bribe and left. This is gonna set a great precedent. It's gonna be a great precedent for these people. They're gonna try bribing dragons with food in the future.
That, or they're like, did I just bribe a dragon? Oh fuck, did I just bribe a dragon?
Dragon. What the hell am I looking at in this room?
It looks like
looking at dozens and dozens of hanging red not cloaks, like tablecloths.
Yeah. Cool.
This is where they keep their backup tabletops for their tables.
Makes sense.
Mine.
Fuck you.
One of them's mine. I'm gonna make an outfit out of it later.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah,
Fuck you would have been wandering around with Alvina.
Yeah.
What do the tablecloths look like they're made out of?
Ooh, good call. They fireproof cloth, actually.
Yeah.
I can't help but see this. This is just
Or
a
fire
label.
blankets.
Fire.
Energy
Oh,
fire
fire
blanket.
blankets.
If you didn't already have an inspiration, you deserve one for that one, Neil.
No.
That was so good. That was so good.
I'm leaving.
Apparently they are made out of woven fiberglass material, sometimes with a silicone-based fire retardant coating.
Oh.
Did you just read off a fire blanket?
That's what a fire blanket is made of, I believe. Yes.
Yes.
Fucky's just gonna grab a couple and just shove them into his bag of holding.
They are not fire blankets, or I don't know what they are, but yes, they are.
Similar
Maybe not
material.
immune to fire, but definitely resistant to it.
They're very similar material to the.
Cloak of fire protection.
Yeah, so Fucky's definitely grabbing a couple and shoving them into his bag of holding.
Oh, goodbye.
Hello? What?
Look back.
Hello.
What? Hello?
Jim's just left and came back.
Ah, that's who it was.
God, I'm gonna have to somehow compile a list of everything you've looted from
Yep.
Iron Core at the end of all this. I'll deal with that later.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yep,
just
so I
adding
will
into my
walk
other
out.
Possessions fire blanket.
Yeah, I will walk out. Can I get me one of those as well, actually?
Well, I'm grabbing probably about half dozen, so.
Yeah, cheers. I've got some ideas. Padding is what that's called. So yeah, I
No,
will...
no incubations.
No, not for the incubation. They incubate in basically lava. It's padding for the inside of the gauntlet. So yeah, I think I might have grabbed. Oh no, Zomi's move. So I'll be.
So I can.
Yeah. Walking up this way and going towards the bigger door now.
That's Zormir gone.
Zome did wander off.
I'm
from the
beside
rest of
here.
the-
I'm
Ah, so
right
you are.
on. I want to basically look at this and see if I can figure out how it works. So we've got a way of getting the fuck out.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
It's
Nice.
not bad.
You're able to recognize half of the information here, not from any lack of arcane, but because this doesn't actually look to be pure arcana. There's definitely hints to it here, and there's definitely incorporations into it. It is using very similar glyph structure to what you recognize to be reminiscent of void glyphs. So it's definitely doing some sort of spatial spatial magic to it. However, there's also a lot of ignis glyphs as well. There's a lot of primordial fire written throughout this, and there's It almost seems to be a fusion of whatever their primal magic is mixed with arcane knowledge.
Well, let's just say Primordial is actually one of the other languages that uses Dwarven script. If that still holds true in Alterra. So.
Whilst I'm invisible, I want to touch the book to the script. Well, because I'm sure everything I'm holding in whilst I'm invisible as well.
Yep.
You're touching what to it?
The book that I've got that's
Oh, you mean the index?
Yeah, the index.
Not so much a book as like a Pokedex, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I want to see if
Sure, Filofax.
see if touching it's gonna scan anything to it, or
This is iPad.
I want to see if it reacts with the Ignan as well.
Good call.
Interesting. Ooh, it would definitely recognize the arcane formations in it.
It's a QR scanner.
Essentially, what I'm trying to do is
Trying to get the barcode off of this teleporter.
It's self-service teleporter.
As you scan it, there are arcane glyphs that pop up onto the display, and it seems to have a little bit more knowledge than you did. It does seem to repeat a lot of what you've said. It's using a corporation of primal magic as long with arcane terminology. So it seems to almost replicate what void magic is used to doing, and given that you have spent some time with void magic, given that it propels your ship, you do understand the terminology without needing to do any additional checks. As well as you get a rough idea of how the platform works, or at least how it functions. The index isn't able to decipher the primal aspects of the technology, but it is able to give you a description of how the machine itself operates, even if it doesn't understand the intricacies of the machine. The platform itself is operating almost as if as a teleporter pad. However, there also appears to be authentication glyphs written into it in the Ignis as well. So it looks like you need some form of identification or some sort of, maybe not necessarily like a word or anything, but like a presence or something the pad recognizes to authenticate you as being able to use the device.
Basically, we need
At which point it then switches to the underlining arcane. So it's almost got like a security layer of primordial glyphs on top of it.
We need a keycard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zomir, if you rush back up to us, we can try and keep an eye out for that, if you are.
If Assassin's still blathering in my head, I'm gonna respond to them and say we need a keycard.
It's a passive ability they've got, isn't it? That one, so it's not feel like it's using anything.
Because I've gotten to the point where I'm just sort of tuning them out because they keep on saying things to me. Because I took the damn deal.
What's that? Are you gone? Where are you? Why aren't you here?
Hello?
While Zomir is doing that, we're going into whatever this room is.
Because I'm watching the guy who's just walked in.
Get big in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as we're walking out.
So this one's supposed to have open archways, but I didn't actually I didn't actually get rid of the walls.
They look like force
walls aren't
fields.
there.
They look like force fields.
So this is a much longer corridor that stretches down with 3 doors on either side.
How big did it go? Top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom.
Fair enough. As you peek into the top room, you see what appears to be a large storage of books on shelves, with a variety of titles in the Dwarvish or the Giant script, which would also be the Dwarvish script.
Well, I can only speak them. I can't read them.
Is there a translation book?
There is actually. I think it's literally. I think it literally just.
It's comprehend languages.
Yeah.
So you can feel free to take one through if you
like,
want.
like giant to what other language?
Do any of the books have that we can see have an image of a dragon on them?
Not from the spine.
Okay. Then I'm not.
We established earlier that if you can read Dwarvish, you can read Giant, or is it just the same script?
It's the
It's
same
like
script.
saying-
The
it's
dwarves
like-
developed theirs from the giant script.
It's like saying you know how to read Spanish because it uses the
English
common...
characters.
Okay,
Yeah.
so...
You might be able to
can I just-
decipher it given time, essentially.
Can I just read
And these are going to be
titles?
giant-sized books, aren't they? Yeah.
Can I read the titles in Giant for Alvina?
Yeah.
How many would you like to, given that there's like 50 to 60 books here?
Well, how
I'd
Um,
literally ask Fade, are there any that have a dragon in the title or something like that?
are there any that have dragon in the title or
Give
anything
me a
interesting to
quick
me?
perception check to see how quickly you can scan them, as every second you delay, I move the primal smith closer.
That is fair. Perception, you say? Perception. That's the wrong character.
As your eyes very quickly scan over the books. Oh, wow,
23.
pretty quick. Okay.
My
Okay,
robot eye just...
you see one that catches your eye, or at least the first one that catches your eye, called Dragon Breath, the magic of fire.
Naming that one, I'm having that.
Anything else? Like
You
that has
continue
dragons that's
scanning it.
more, that are more than just dragons.
50 uses for dragon scales.
That could be interesting when I kill Alvina's dragons later on. But next one.
The affinity of dragon bones.
Affinity of dragon bones. Like what they can be used for.
Probably.
Who knows? That's what the title says. I don't
This
know.
is a
You wanna
blacksmith
stick around
shop.
and read it?
Yeah, this is a blacksmith show. I'm taking the dragon breath one.
Anything else? Anything of interest to me?
If you're looking specifically, well, it depends. What are you looking for? What's interesting to you? Everything here is interesting to you. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
it
You're
is.
too big.
Yeah.
Feel free to take all the books if you want, but it'll take you about an hour to offload them and put them into ship.
It's what I wanted.
No. Anything that relates to the screws, the metal we found, the bits of tech that Scott Wolfman, the hairy guy,
Well,
Mr. Jones Point, yeah.
Jones, yeah, Jones Point. Okay, goddamn.
adopted him?
Yeah,
Married him.
adopted.
Well,
yeah,
eventually.
the married. Yeah.
Nope. 4 to 5.
Yeah. Anything that relates to the precursor race.
Yes.
We in Halo now? Yeah, I'm moving on after that first one, by the way.
With that 23.
The Point will grab a random book. and
Unfortunately
move
not.
on.
Unfortunately, those books do not exist in this room, and no matter how high your perception.
I will take the book that Albina asked for, then the breath one.
I've already taken it and moved and walked off.
Well, I wasn't listing them as I read them. I
They also-
read internally. I don't see
Oh,
everything.
I thought you
say.
were
don't
reading them
read-
off.
I don't read street lamps out loud, do I?
I do.
Zormir, as you are the one who gets a nice big look of this primal smith, he looks to be the oldest of the fire giants here. You can see that he's got a bit of grey in his massive bushy orange beard. And his hair is pulled back into a short ponytail that falls just to his neck. Similarly, while he also appears to be the only one actually wearing any form of top, other than the female giants,
For obvious reasons.
who also look very masculine because all female giants are buff Zarya types.
Hell yeah.
That's just the way it works. But this guy, while you can see maybe a couple of crow's feet on his eyes, a couple of wrinkles here and there, he still looks incredibly good. It looks like fire giants don't particularly age into frailty.
It's the thing from like heroes in Discworld. They don't get old and frail. They get old and harder.
But more importantly, there's a presence to him, a heat that is emanating off him, as his eyes seem to glow with fire themselves. And every step he takes, you can see a small spark of flame emanate from his feet, his bare feet as they walk around. You can see he's got these leather straps wrapped around his wrists and ankles. And as let's see, is there anything else prominent about him?
Is he armed? Is there anything like that?
He's got what appears to be a metal belt hanging from his waist with a single set of dangling, what looks to be a solid, like almost like a little crystal key made of obsidian iron. However, in the very tip of it, it seems to almost be lit with a internal flame that is very reminiscent to what you saw in Ignis's crown.
Mm.
That's
Who's
from
chewing? Who is chewing out loud on screen?
Alvina's
For fuck's sake! Alvina,
also,
you know what?
he,
Actually, that works.
as he steps up onto the platform and walks across it, you see the glyphs on the platform begin to glow in his presence, activating, before as he steps off, they deactivate.
Well, I knew for a fact he'd have a key. I was wondering if we could find one that didn't involve us getting to him.
Okay. This is gonna be really fucking dumb.
Are you gonna pickpocket him?
Means it'll work.
You got this, Sommer.
I'm gonna try and sleight a hand to take
Yeah.
the thing that I think.
The key.
Yeah. As he's going past, because I've noticed that that's the thing that's activating.
It's at least important and glowing.
Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check at advantage.
Alright.
By the way, did you spend your destiny earlier for that smithing check, or is that just a thing you could do, Chris?
There's a question.
What was this for? What did you previously try and use it on?
Seeing the Forge Masters work.
To determine whether...
No, you get that because you have proficiencies and a bunch of stuff that's relevant.
There you go, Bob. I saved your ass. Yeah, I think I did save your ass. Do it.
Okay. Reroll.
His skin also seems to have a slight shimmeringness to it.
You could have just rolled another sleight of hand check.
So yeah, that is a 12. At least it was better.
Would it still be at advantage, though?
No.
No,
no.
the Destiny
It's
just
just a
rolls
reroll.
one more dice.
Yeah, I tried to help.
Yeah.
All I can do is try to flash it and make it better.
Either that or hope the fat hell that you just missed and he didn't notice, rather than it wasn't like low enough for it to like you fall on his feet. Hopefully. It might be you just missed.
Okay.
You flashing it?
Yeah, I'm adding the other...
3. 15.
3.
Still probably not enough, but...
15?
Yeah.
As you reach out towards his belt and try to unclip and pickpocket effectively his what appears to be obsidian iron key of some variety, you find yourself suddenly grappled by his outstretched hand without him even turning to look at you as you take 17 fire damage.
That's fair.
And the Primal Smith stops. And he glances down at you, even into your invisible nature.
No.
He stares at you. Would you like to do anything? Would you like to respond immediately anyhow before I continue?
I'm very sorry, Zome. If it comes up to us, we may have to leave you for dead. Otherwise, we all die.
Take one for the team.
It
No,
might be.
that's...
I don't...
Sorry, Albina, that's not happening. Because Gwen
No.
beat him. Yeah.
No.
I just went, so that's 2 people down.
No, I mean, I was reminding Gwen. Yeah.
But Bob, would you like to do anything before I continue? As he is currently holding your wrist.
He's holding my wrist. Which wrist?
Whichever wrist you reached out with to pickpocket him.
Probably your right hand.
I'll leave that to you.
Oh, you're gonna do what I think you're gonna do.
No way. No way.
Let's see, which wrist did I say? I'm sure I noted it down in my descriptions. Which hand? Which hand was it? The hand disappears, and the armor disappears, and I move away quickly. Because that was a...
I'm
Your missing arm.
The missing arm.
All right. Which direction would you like to move away quickly in?
Most likely for the door here.
Move your character on the map. Okay. Are you attempting to hide or anything?
As much as it's harsh, run into the room with the guy with the pig.
Yeah, well, how far can I get? I want to see how far I can actually get. I can only really get to the door from here.
Can you dash?
Surely you can dash.
Well, for what I've just done, I think it's probably gonna take some.
You have one leg, don't you, actually?
I took action to try and steal the thing, and all that. So I've not really got anything other than, well, it was more I dropped that arm. That was only
just the arm, okay.
So I essentially wasn't holding anything anymore. So that's as far as I'd get.
Yeah, go up to the door then, and it's your best bet, and try to slip in to the room. Like we've found there's someone who's apparently breaking the rules. Hopefully, it'll take the edge off.
I won't tell if you don't.
Wait,
no, I mean he'll find the other guy in the room, and he might already be scared.
I've not used my bonus action, so I could do something. And do that. It would make me very visible now.
Yeah, you already know.
I'd say that's
about
worse.
you.
And
I'd say that's worse because he might not know what tried to grab him.
Dash through into here, past this door, activate that door, but duck in here. Is that acceptable?
What would you like to do?
Which room?
Activate that sort of door, but duck into the cloakroom.
Yeah.
Right.
So all you have to do is thrust some fire towards it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Just hide yourself below all the cloaks and just turtle.
Yeah.
And did you cast Expeditious Retreat or?
Yeah, because it's a bonus action, and it's the only thing that's going to allow me to move past these guys.
He did it basically at the door because he could get to the door. So he cast it from like there, activated both doors.
As you
flee,
the Primal Smith steps off the platform and begins following after you as you quickly lose his line of sight going into the doorways. What's your passive perception again, Zormir?
My passive is 16.
16. Unfortunately, the noise of the environment means you don't hear anything that he says as he is coming after you.
I wouldn't understand anyway.
That's fair. As you thingy into the room, we'll come back to you as there's nobody immediately appears at the entrance. As we return back to the main party, blissfully unaware of what is ever happening south with the noise and commotion between you.
Yeah. This room
What would you like to do? As you glance in, you find a teenage fire giant squashed or struggling under the weight of a fallen anvil. Anvil. As he glances over to you with a pain-stricken face.
As in it's like fallen off its thing and he's moving it, or he's just lifting it out?
As in he's fallen onto the ground and it's on his chest.
I just look him up and down.
Some.
No, I'm not. That'd be telling. I'm a dragon. As much as greedy as dragons are, they don't loot the people they're inspecting. In view. I look him up and down. Just go. Tss, basically, just tisk, and then turn away and keep going.
He mumbles out. You can hear his breath is at its edge.
The point will put their hand on Alvina's arm. Just indicate.
We're in full view of someone. I'm supposed to be a red dragon. I think it'd give it away more.
And these people are literally slavers.
We're not nice people, and neither are they. Is essentially it.
Okay.
Surely you should slap the point for this.
I will. I literally like just bang. Act as if I hit you harder.
Okay. The point acts that and hangs back a little bit dejectedly.
If you can slap him onto the anvil with such force that he knocks the anvil off the guy.
Oh, actually, so I'm a.
It might break your back point.
No, I'm not going to kill him. I'm going to, if I can, do the slap, and do it as like, because I'm a war dancer, so I'm an actor as well. I'm going to do it like a full-on stage act, so it sounds a lot louder than it actually was, and point basically acts as if you're going flying, essentially.
Yep.
So I won't. I could hit you that hard. I don't actually hurt you, though. So it look like it hurt you. So I'm gonna just smack him.
Yeah.
And just growl.
I will fall back on the ground next to this apprentice, and just wait for a moment.
Okay. Terrifying. You do so with such convincingness that even the apprentice is suddenly showing fear, deciding not to ask for help under the anvil.
Yeah, that's fair.
Next room.
I'm concerned about the redness in the other room.
As you open the door, a fire troll looks up at you.
As you were.
What are they doing? Are they just on a desk?
No, he's behind. He's on the toilet, right?
Nope, they're sitting at a desk. They just look up from some papers at you.
They're writing it in script.
He just shakes his head, goes back to writing.
Yeah, I just nod. Go next room. I'm looking for crafting stuff. I'm not looking for their paperwork.
As you enter into the southern room, you find 3 what look to be out-of-place boxes of a Republic nature. They appear to be technological crates. Each sealed.
Immediately on them, examining them for traps.
Yeah.
Why are both the artificers distracted?
Give me an investigation check as we return back
Point you shouldn't
to the Tales of Zormir.
Apparently.
My goggles of minute seeing give me advantage. And I'm logged out.
No shit.
No, you
Try
can't.
again.
No, 22. Okay. Good luck, Zormir. Primal Smith, the ice shrink size.
Yeah, I gave him the dragon's polymorph ability.
Hell yes. I like this guy.
Zormir, go ahead and give me a stealth check as you are hiding in there, and it takes him around to like shrink down and compact his size. But while you're doing that, Fate, these boxes, while they are not trapped, are sealed. They are locked, not with a key, but with a magnetic strip.
I know what mag strips are, right? They're a Republic invention, a bit like key cards, or
yes,
fob keys for different rooms of places.
Yes.
Alvina definitely doesn't know the reason, but I think I actually remember how to do it, so I can't help here. I think I know how to
I wish I have the spell X-ray vision. I cast wish so that I have the spell X-ray vision. That spell wish I get because I'm
adding.
Because you're home.
Yeah.
I'm adding.
You know where the DM lives.
I'm adding 3 with flash.
Ooh, you've not got a disadvantage, Zoma.
No, my armor gives me disadvantage. Remember, I'm in full plate.
Yeah, that's for sound, but you don't have.
It doesn't apply in here. Remember, in the volcano, you don't get that disadvantage.
You're covered because of all the banging.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
we're
still adding flash to that. 'cause
Oh yeah,
I'm
it's
not-
19. I'm not saying don't add flash. It's a 19, not an 18. No.
Okay.
Unless Chris wants to do it for this specific one, but.
No, that's alright. I'll take the check. I'll incorporate all that. We'll get to that in a second. What is the party doing up here with the sealed Republic crates?
Opening them.
No, at least try.
How would you like to open them?
You tell me.
They
How do I open
are either with the any of the spells that can deactivate a technical creation.
Or I think all of which Zorme has.
Yep. Or you could attempt to break them open, but they are made with Republic metal.
Also, that'd
so
be
they are
suspicious as fuck.
incredibly high DCs. Or you can use the magnetic key that goes along with them if you had it.
The magnetic key that's on the Primal Smith belt.
Might not be a magnetic key, that's a fire thing.
Nope, probably
Yeah,
unrelated.
but he might have one of them as well.
Okay.
You're not entirely. You have yet to see any magnetic key. You would know what it looks like. It kind of just looks like a fob, but it'll have a symbol of the Republic on it.
I have a quick question, Chris, if we're really, really determined to get in here, guys. This is metal, right?
It is metal, yes.
What's the rough amount of metal say a black dragon's breath acid will melt?
Depends on the metal. For Republic metal, which is corrosion proof, not a lot.
Cool. Never mind then.
My.
I am going to basically let Fade if they want to actually go into this room, but I am going to continue on to play the part, basically. But if you want to stay in that room, I'm not going to stop you on that one.
Yeah, if you continue on, I'll try and what spell would I need, Chris? Is it on off?
On off would probably do it. The one that Bob used earlier.
Remote access would also work.
Yeah.
What level is that?
Pretty early.
The first level of transmutation.
Is it through my essentially Mizium apparatus, I can attempt to cast any spell that I have a spell slot for.
Yeah.
You can. You just need to make the check.
Yeah. So it's just an Arcana check.
Don't roll badly.
It's of a DC of 10 plus the spell's level, which is
So it's
11.
DC 11.
I'm gonna roll for it. Just a normal roll.
And I believe this is a once per long rest ability.
Is it?
I think you've got like proficiency times. It's a few, I think. It's not.
It's rolling. My Arcana is plus 11, so I just succeed. We'll just see how well I succeed. It is still rolling though, for some reason. It is.
Fair enough. Arcana of 11.
I've got plus 11.
You automatically succeed since this is a skill check, and therefore you cannot critically fail. Not yet, anyway. Gotta wait for T1 to come out.
12.
Wow,
Aren't you lucky? The D&D 1 isn't a thing yet.
The survey for that opened up today or yesterday, so I don't know whether that's going to stay or not.
Oh, also, by the way, it's actually twice, so you barely passed. It's twice the level of the spell, so the natural one is exactly passing. I'm looking at the Miss Map, yeah.
I'm gonna go grab it.
I just want to see how many times you can do it.
I believe it's for as many spell slots as I have.
Well, you'll clap. I'm going to go back to Zormir as suddenly the door to your chamber opens, or begins to melt away in the presence of the Primal Smith, who has been shrunken down into what appears to be dwarf-sized creature. As the door begins to solidify behind him, it seems to be having trouble actually fully solidifying in his presence, as he turns and reaches out his hands and seems to absorb the heat from the room and the door as it begins to immediately close in on itself. And almost, you can see ice particles begin to form over the door.
Oh no.
As he sucks the heat out of the air, and he turns into the rest of the room. And speaking out in First Giant, you hear Gargantuana. Then, speaking out in Deep Speech,
I speak deep.
As his almost stance.
As you understand the words, "Come out, little spy. I'll happily tell you everything you need to know."
I'm.
Insight.
I don't think you need to insight that one, gonna be honest.
Yeah, but for the is he gonna kill him afterwards after he tells him everything?
I think he's just gonna kill him on the spot regardless.
I respond. Respond and comment and say, sorry. Master told me to test your security and see how well you did as well. I'm sorry.
Clever. How
Not a bad
charismatic are you?
Give me a deception check. We're about to find out.
As charismatic as a cow in full plate.
And
Come on.
and we're 6 minutes from the end. This could be
This would be a good cliffhanger for us.
I'm not very good at deception. I'm only
right.
+2, but
come on.
Come on, buddy.
14.
I feel like that's definitely not enough.
Destiny. I'll do my destiny. Throw it. Go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna limit this to once for.
Yeah, I'm done. I find me using the destiny for it.
I don't think.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Was better.
Can you flash that?
I have no flash left.
Yeah.
Oh.
I used all my flash to basically do enough of the.
Responding in common.
You wanted to find out what they all had.
This is interesting. Is responding in common.
I see. Come out, little slave. Let us speak. I promise not to punish you. After all, you're only working on your master's order. And I am wise and old enough to know that you'll be far more valuable to me with honey than with a whip.
I'll come out.
This might actually have been in a way of, oh, they want to spy in the dragons, which would be really convenient if they go for that route.
He gives you a glance up and down. Now, describe to me, Zormir, what is your suit made out of?
It's a
steel, isn't it?
It's plate and basically a normal steel, but it'll have some of the crystals in it to give it its arcane sort of nature of how it adheres to me.
Well, see, you've only got one arm currently.
Yeah.
Is the giant guy holding the other arm?
No, I don't have an arm. I'm missing an arm.
I know, but
the suit.
I've got my suit. Basically replaces any limb that I'm missing due to its ability.
Right, okay. I thought you had shed the fake arm that your suit gave you. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it basically...
It is the giant holding the fake arm.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, it's more like it turns into... More like how Iron Man's...
It melts. Okay.
Iron Man sort of special armor that forms around him. It does that sort of thing.
Endosim.
Yeah.
Go.
Okay.
As the rest of the party is exploring, I'll get back to this in a second, you find another small library with an apprentice studying in the north, and another fire troll apparently harvesting what appears to be fire shrooms in the south room.
Look, I'm going to let the guy have his lunch in peace on this one. I have a quick glance in the library. Just
it looks
nod.
like a library.
Time it is then.
Yeah, and just nod and start walking back.
As I crack the lid.
Did we determine how many times you can cast that spell? Since I'm pretty sure it'd be one per box.
The
so
thing, he can test it as many times as he wants, but he has to make the check every time.
Yeah, you expend a spell slot to cast the spell as normal. The spell you choose must be on your class's spell list and a level for which you have a spell slot, and you must provide the spell's components.
Yeah, it's the fact that it can fuck up every time and can cast something hilarious.
Yeah, so it gets exponentially more difficult.
Well, luckily for you, you automatically make the check pretty much.
Yeah.
So as you open up the 3 crates, The first one yields what appears to be a large crate of iron obsidian ingots.
Excellent.
Yes.
Anyone have a bag of holding on them?
Fuck
Fuck
you.
you.
Excellent. Fuck you. Do you want these
Take at least a few.
ingots?
They're one of the things we were after here. So.
I'm gonna hold on to one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. In like my satchel. In the second.
As you open up, you find
Ooh.
a box of iron obsidian tools.
Yes.
We'll
Pop
take
a couple
those for
of those in
Zomi.
there.
We'll take those
Pop
for
a couple of those in
Zomi.
there.
If
I'll
he
keep
survives.
I'll keep one set for myself as well. Because these are all very valuable things for the rebellion to have.
Mm-hmm. And box.
And the
What's in
third.
box number 3?
What's in the box?
Primordial fire. A lot of it.
Yeah,
Enough to fill up 5 jars, actually.
As I open it, there's a gold glow, and we finally realise what was in the suitcase from Pulp Fiction. Let's do it, Chris.
An actual baby dragon.
Friends we made along the way.
I mean, if there's a baby dragon in there and it imprints on me, that'd be great. Although, this stuff came from the aboleths, right?
You're not entirely sure. It is of Republic technology, but there's no indication as to where it came from or where it's going.
Republic tech.
It's just a mind flayer.
If there's a fucking mind flayer in there, tadpole. If it's like a fucking xenomorph egg that opens and just lashes out.
I've been stuck in there for weeks. Thank you.
It's Steve.
No, it won't be Steve. I'm really hoping it's a bit of precursor tech or something techy that Fade can get their teeth into.
Is there anything in the box, by the way, Chris, or is it just an empty box?
I don't know. Maybe it's an empty box with a flashlight on.
It is one roll on the primordial salvage table.
Ooh. What is that?
Roll it, James.
Yeah,
we found it.
What am I rolling?
Next
a D20?
D20.
A D20.
50.
50.
Not bad.
Good. That's good.
I'll spend a destiny point. No, I won't.
16. I mean, you got 16. Do it.
No, I mean, I've only got. I mean, do I have 2?
We have 1. We haven't got any extras since you've burned them all.
Yeah, mate, you're down to 1. I never give you extras.
I might have 2, but I probably have 1.
No, you probably have 1, so you probably want to use it.
Just gonna check my main character sheet rather than the app.
Ooh.
We still have somebody with a destiny point, right? When
Yes.
we inevitably fuck up.
Oh,
Just
yes,
in
I
the
only
bottom.
had the one. I only had the 1 destiny point,
Yeah,
so
but-
I'll use it for this. Why not? So it's a 16 or a 15. I don't know. I'll pick whichever one's better.
Which is better?
Whichever one is better.
I think 16 is better, regardless. It's the better number.
I don't know. It's
4 times 4, which makes it the better number.
But 15 is 3 times 5. 3
I
and
know, but
5 are
4's
2
better.
prime numbers. Yeah, but 3 and 5 are 2 prime numbers. Ergo,
Yeah.
15 is a better number.
15 is 2 just a lot of times. So.
Yeah. It's so many 2s. which is
Yeah,
great.
8 times.
And then it can just be all the 1s if you want. Let's not use numbers here.
We're taking a piss, I'm sure. Anyway,
As you open up the crate, cradled in what appears to be reminiscent of packing material for a delicate item, and not it's more like packing peanuts. Delicately lying among the foam packing peanuts is what appears to be a large, almost arm-sized, flaming red feather. I'm trying to think how to describe the feather.
I reach down with great reverence and pull out some packing peanuts.
I am not surprised.
And then close the lid and what? No.
Surely the inspiration is worthy for that.
I'd say maybe,
No, I've just used it. It's fine. Is this feather? Does it look reminiscent of a phoenix feather?
It does, yes.
Does this thing have the ability to cast resurrection on someone?
No.
Oh.
It has the ability to cast Revivify, though.
Oh,
Sweet. Still pretty
I
good.
mean, that's fair. I mean,
Is
I'm
it-
not going to use it because in itself, it looks gorgeous, doesn't it?
Yes.
Surely, it's gold.
yes.
It's almost gold filigreed red.
It is the tail end feather of a phoenix, which has the ability on consumption to effectively cast the Revivify spell.
Nice.
It's a phoenix down, which will
Yeah, it's a phoenix.
all save for the final boss fight.
Yep. We'll save it for Zormir when we find his corpse in about an hour.
Oh, okay. Cast Revivify as well on myself.
I know, but if he's dead. What if you're
No, when you're
dead?
dead, you can.
I take it like you take a sword in two hands, holding it underneath, and say, "I don't know how rare these are."
Yes, I've got like 3 similar ones.
Oh.
They're not the same one, don't worry. That one's still probably really cool.
He just sees it as a feather.
Yeah, I think it's, I've got the blue ones, don't I? Which are arc-light feathers. I imagine it's like slightly different looking, but it's like.
To be fair, they're not. They're an uncommon feather. They're not actually that like rare.
Yeah.
Let's load up on ingots, load up on tools, and load up on packing peanuts.
As we end back on Zormir, as the smith takes a step forward. Where did you get your suit? What master crafted you such technology, such fine and detailed?
It's from Gadji.
This is the worst thing. Ask me.
I know, it's the cocky, proud of his own shit one.
So perfectly form-fitting, and you seem to have utilized it to replace limbs. This is quite a novel idea.
You're playing a part, Zormir. Don't break character. Or you're gonna get violently.
The scholar in me wishes to know.
Oh, there's a way that you can do it, Zormir. You're literally
This is all up to Bob.
I know, I'm gonna do this after. I'm gonna do this after.
Not there.
Yeah,
This is
I'm
all.
gonna do this
It's all
after.
mute. This is all Bob.
Yeah, I know. Come on, Bob.
You wouldn't lie to an old, aged smith, would you? Tell me true.
God damn you!
Is that to Chris or the giant?
No, that is actually Zormir, like, biting his fucking teeth, and like he's so determined to say, be like, this is my stuff I made. This, how dare you? How dare you challenge my crafting skills? I made this.
Give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
You? Annoyed made this?
I still can't say mine. It's still too perfect.
Ooh.
You seem to believe what you're saying, but I'm not sure I believe you have the necessary skills. Why, I've never met a Noid Smith before, at least not one that is a crude imitation of giant genius.
You challenge my skills?
This is certainly one way of getting
Then
out.
test me.
Just aggro your way through this.
What do I gain should you fail?
If I fail at my own given craft, I give you my self to do as you please. But I do not fail.
Wow. I have no need for an apprentice who lies and cannot keep up. If you do not have the skill per which you bespeak, then death is the only answer, or not even your soul would be worth consuming. Maybe I'll throw you to one of the apprentices to devour. But but I suppose I've got nothing else to do this evening, and it is my turn on the forge floor, while my brethren get to slave away before the great flame. Well, what else am I to do with myself? You may be an entertaining hour or two to pass.
The helmet shifts back. So be it.
Fuck yeah.
So a competition it is then. I will give you a task to forge for me, and should you fail, well, I'll either throw you into the lava to burn, or allow one of the apprentices to devour you. Should you succeed, well, the craft is novel and unique, I will give you that. Enough to maybe persuade me to spare you, spy. A tit-for-tat knowledge exchange. After all, it's been so long since I've taught anyone with any signs of promise.
Hell yes.
There's a sort of thing with anger is he just sort of I'm ready to punch the wall with the gauntlets and see what
Yes, that is a good rage, yes. Channel that, the fire will lead you. You may call me Elder Arizag. What is your name, Noid?
I am Dr. Zormir Asker.
Zormir. Well, here you are apprentice Zormir, or I suppose initiative is more befitting. You have yet to prove yourself.
Yeah, she is Zermir.
Now, I will not embarrass myself by trialing you in public. Follow me, Noid. We will go somewhere out of the way. You are not ready for the heat. We will do a small test first. Should you succeed, well, we'll see what potential you have. Come.
So be it.
Fuck yeah, Zoma, you got this, bud.
That's where we're gonna pick up, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good ending.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Although the way it was phrased, it's like, we'll take you away and we'll do a small bake, and if you succeed, you can do the big bake in the tent with the other bakers.
Hey, here's the thing. One, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And even if Alvina had seen Zome, he'd be like, they'd have heard, he's like, yeah, you've got this. Full trust that Zome has got this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and for my one, what I was gonna say, why do you think my master keeps me around? You're supposed to work for a dragon, of course you've got something unique about you.
Just as we finish piling the last of the tools into the bag.
Right.
Zome's gonna be so happy. Zome's gonna be so happy.
This is the best thing to happen to Zormir today, I bet.
Yep.
I wonder if he's found anything else.
I bet he has. Oh, well, there are more doors down here. Shit.
Also,
As we have a little after credit scenes of the fire giant putting his hand up to the wall, and it begin to shift and move out of the way, revealing a new passage.
Nice.
He leads you to the end of the room and to a small workshop in the back. As yes, that is where we'll end for the day. As the party continues to infiltrate Iron Gore, what shenanigans will they get up to? Will they survive? There's only one way to find out. Tune in next time as we continue to play Alterra.
The Shattered Ultimate. It's great.
Woo! Thank you, good night. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Fantastic roleplay.